time.
Wow.
It's been a long journey, my friends. Of course, I am Tim Geddes. I'm joined today by Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Do you think it's actually the final one?
Yeah.
You don't think sometime late this year they're like, oh, here's a bunch of more Switch 1 games.
Somehow
even though the
Nintendo
2
Switch
out?
has returned.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get more Switch 1 games. This is not the end of Switch 1 games, but this is the final time that they're ever going to say there will not be Switch 2 information in this direct. You know what I mean?
Exciting time.
Joining us as well as Andy Cortez.
I mean, Silk Song probably, right?
Probably,
of course.
you know?
Yeah.
If this direct doesn't have Silk Song, Metroid Prime 2 and 3 full remakes, not
Right.
even just remaster, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and every other Zelda game on one
Wow.
cart, you know what I mean? I'm going to fucking riot.
I'm
What's the
excited
point?
for this one. I did see for another presentation in the future, the III initiative, that the developers for Katana Zero are listed on the
No
developer
way.
list.
Oh,
No way.
shit.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
No way.
It's happening.
Could you imagine?
DLC announcement.
Oh,
What- what
if
is
Katana
that? Do you
Zero
know?
2
At
happens
no,
here-
at
No,
this
it's not
point,
even
it's
a
got to
2.
be a fucking sequel.
No, it's for the Katana. No, it's for a III initiative, not for this.
Okay, but I was thinking like they reveal it here and then
Oh, no,
'cause, like,
no.
do you reveal that at III Initiative?
Yeah.
That'd be
think so.
dope.
I think
Lend
Katana
us some
Zero, like,
credibility.
we love Katana Zero. I don't know how big Katana Zero is
Yeah.
outside of
Katana Zero is a direct game, though.
That's a direct game.
Yeah.
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 I find it bizarre, Barrett, how much not more big Katana Zero is in the universe.
It's fucked
that
up.
should
It's
be
fucked
that
up.
should be what Hollow Knight is.
You're right.
You
You're
know
right.
what I mean?
You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
You know?
I thought I was all up on my shit, right? Because I slept a lot yesterday. I had the day off,
Hell
slept
yeah.
so much. And then I woke up to obviously all the Marvel news, right? And then yesterday, as I was streaming Dark Souls 2, somebody in the chat goes, Andy, are you going to wake up for the direct tomorrow? Like, I don't know. I have no idea.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Check the calendar and I saw 10 a.m. I was like, maybe? I don't know.
The way you phrase that of, are you going to wake up tomorrow? I don't know.
Oh, man. Do any of us know? We don't really.
Oh, my God.
But
Well,
then
here
I
we are.
assumed it's an early one, so I was like, okay, I'll stay off of socials in the morning.
Good call. You
Yeah.
did the right thing, Andy. Because of course, right now it is 10 a.m. Pacific time. There was a Nintendo Direct, the final Nintendo Switch 1 Direct, at 7 a.m. Pacific time. But we didn't want to have everyone in the studio have to come in so early because we have a big day. We have a huge week next week with the Nintendo Switch 2 stuff, obviously. So stay tuned for all of that. But we have not seen or heard anything, right, about this.
Correct.
We've stayed off the internet, do not know what they show or don't show in this Nintendo Direct. So we're going to be seeing it for the very first time now. And then if you're watching on YouTube in the same video afterwards, we'll be doing our Gamescast breakdown of everything that we saw. If you're on podcast services, you won't even be hearing this part. You'll just be getting the breakdown Gamescast. Barrett.
Just so live chat knows, I do know like the big things, and that's because I like to have chat up on my end. But just to be clear, they can't see chat on their end. So
Yes, we don't
you
have
can't
chat.
spoil them.
We don't have chat, so don't spoil. Don't be weird.
I don't know about you guys. Let me tell you, waking up this morning and going 3 hours without social media.
Yeah.
I gotta start doing that more often.
Yeah.
My brain feels so healthy.
You're
today.
ready to go?
I'm like, man, you know, like the world is beautiful. You ever
Yeah.
walk outside and
yeah.
just smell the roses
yeah.
and not look at Twitter or Blue Sky or whatever? I went to the gym this morning. I made myself breakfast and I ate a banana. I feel
Wow.
great today.
It's
Hell
huge.
yeah.
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 Do away with social media, guys.
Sparkling water.
No, I didn't do this. I didn't do this.
No.
For a second, I was like, what if I do rub this banana peel on my face?
Saratoga Springs or whatever.
Oh man, everybody! But like I was saying, we're doing the live reaction now. Gamescast after that, of course. After that, we'll have a full day of fun stuff. Games Daily will happen. Then we have Alien versus Predator Requiem in review, which I can't freaking wait to talk to the boys about. This is going to be a super fun one. If you want to get a Kind of Funny membership, that'd be super cool. It supports us and it gets you the shows ad-free and a daily exclusive Gregway that you can check out. Also, shout out to our Patreon producers, Delaney Twine and Carl Jacobs and Omega Buster. Today, we're brought to you by Stash, but we'll tell you about that later. No more Dillian, no more Dallian. Let's hit the direct.
Man, kind of feeling some emotion. This is the
I
last
know,
one.
the last
This is the
Switch
last
one, right?
one.
No more
How many
video
horsemen
games.
are we going to get, Bless?
Oh, so many horsemen.
No more video games after this.
All right. So 3 is out, and 1 and 2 have been announced. I don't know if they have a date or not, so maybe this is the date information. God bless HD2D.
Yeah. Also, God bless this song.
This fucking song. Bane of my existence. In another world, I love this song.
I fuck with it.
Yeah.
It's like it gives national anthem vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really does. Yeah, inauguration
Like I feel like
type
I should
shit.
like be standing up with my
Yeah,
hand over my
I'm feeling
chest.
patriotic right now. Look, this looks really pretty. But
Where's the butt?
Switch 2 ain't gonna have OLED.
Don't say that. Stop saying
not
that.
gonna have a- what do
Stop
you-
saying
I mean,
it.
he's right.
What do you
Stop
mean?
saying that. We don't know that
Yes,
yet.
we do.
We don't know that yet.
Yes, we
No
do.
actual credible person that knows information right now about the Switch 2 has said that
You
right now.
know within
No.
your heart that
Takahashi, and
you
I'll
know
be
within your
guide
heart.
for today's Nintendo Direct.
Also, they just said 2025.
Today, we'll be providing information on upcoming Nintendo Switch games. We'll also have a Nintendo Direct for Nintendo Switch 2 on April 2nd. So please tune in for that as well. What
big
you
one.
just saw was Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake from Square Enix. Another character appeared at the end. What kind of adventure awaits? We hope you're excited for more information in the future. Okay.
Never
let's see the
changed
first
Nintendo
batch of
Direct.
headlines.
Escape from dire straits.
This might be the last time we get the
Oh yeah, maybe we're
Yeah.
gonna get a fucking booty
fucking
clap or
clap,
something.
yeah.
2 minutes until oxygen 0.
Help me! Please help me, Dante!
Date.
The latest entry in the The Somnium Files series is stirring.
I love
You
Nintendo
are Konami
Direct.
Date, a special agent with a sophisticated
Where you at,
AI
Jace?
called Aiba. embedded
Fucking,
in
I
his
always
left
see
eye.
Jace talking about
mission
the
is
homie
to
Jace,
track
kind of my
down
best friend,
Iris,
talking about
an
AI
internet
Somnium
idol who's
files.
been
I
trapped
have
in a
never heard of
mysterious
this
Really?
in my life. No.
I've heard of it, but I have no idea what it is.
Nah, you must have
Conduct
heard of this
interviews to
because I
investigate
feel like this
Iris's
series
whereabouts.
pops up on a direct every once in a while.
AI
Damn, look at that
Somnium Files?
resolution.
Into a
Stunning.
subject's dreams to reveal
This isn't
clues
related to
hidden
the
deep within their
999
psyche
series of games, is it?
and solve mind-bending
Did I make that up?
puzzles
I
in
doubt
an
it.
explorable
I want to
environment.
make that up.
I don't know.
Zero Escape?
Everything you learn will bring you one
Probably not.
step closer to the
You
truth.
say it, you know?
These are games. I know they exist.
It's by
Uncover
Spike
what's hidden in
Chunsoft,
reality
so are those
and
games?
dreams to rescue Iris. No Sleep for Kaname Date from The Somnium Files launches on the Nintendo
Oh, it's
Switch
I.
system
I thought it was
July
AI.
25th.
I mean, that is a fair assumption.
Unleash the supernatural.
What was the date for that?
Who cares?
I missed it.
I think it was June 25th.
I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm sorry, Chad. I'm sorry.
Wait, hold on. What is this? This is more Shin Megami Tensei?
A classic Atlas action RPG returns with remastered HD
Oh.
graphics and enhanced gameplay. Set in the capital city in the year Taisho 20, Raido Kuzunoha makes his living as an apprentice detective. But unbeknownst to others, he
Got some good
also
sideburns.
fights alongside
Dude, I like his little,
demons
like,
as a
cape
devil summoner.
situation.
Every
To protect
Atlas
the
protagonist
capital,
looked the
Raido
same for
must
like 20
investigate a
fucking
series
years.
of supernatural cases. Fight in real-time battles alongside demons you summon. Work with your demons to strike an enemy's weak point, then follow up with a powerful attack. Cooperation is the key to victory. You can even turn opposing demons into allies.
Fair. What I want to do
Demons
for a
can
game
also be
showdown is
useful
record an entire
outside of
direct
battle,
and have fake games in there.
and their
And they have to
powers
buzz
are
in when the
helpful in
fake games
finding
pop up.
solutions during
Because I for sure would be
investigations.
buzzing in right now. Like, this didn't exist.
Guide
Apparently it
Raido
did.
through a series of strange incidents
I assume you're the bird who gave us a call?
as he uncovers a conspiracy
Don't call
that
her
will
bird.
shake the capital to its core.
It was
Raido
Taisho 20,
Remastered,
all right, Tim?
The
It was a
Mystery
different
of the
era.
Soulless Army launches on Nintendo Switch June 19th. Pre-orders begin later today on Nintendo eShop.
Nice.
Consume darkness.
Oh, Pac-Man. With the
the Metroid
Game
Memories
Awards.
Cool
gone,
Pac-Man.
You have been summoned to a strange,
Hot Pac-Man.
unfamiliar world. Where
Shadow
you're
Labyrinth.
greeted by a yellow orb known as Puck. But who is this spherical stranger? Moored in a mysterious, maze-like world, your battle for survival begins. As Puck guides you on your journey, you'll delve deeper into the expansive world. By examining
This is such
your
a dumb thing to say, but I mean it.
you
I
can
wish this was a
phase shift
little
and
higher
combine
budget.
with Puck to explore
Because like
areas
I'm
you
all
couldn't
into
reach
it, but it's
before.
just it looks like it's not quite where I
Tread
want it to
lightly.
be.
The creatures inhabiting this world will prove hostile. When facing imposing enemies, you and Puck can temporarily fuse into the Gaia form to unleash powerful attacks. By consuming your prey, you'll collect
It's like I fuck with it, but what are we doing?
Yeah.
that can
How did we
then
get
be
here?
used to enhance your abilities.
Huh.
Work to uncover Puck's true goal
I don't like the way your guy looks when he walks.
and devour enemies to survive this cruel world.
Whoa.
Experience a dark twist on the iconic Pac-Man when Shadow Labyrinth launches on Nintendo Switch July 18th.
I'm into it, even though I know I shouldn't be.
The rhythmic march begins.
Oh, what the
Is
fuck?
that
Oh.
Patapon?
That's actually
Greg!
what the hell, Greg? Greg!
To Nintendo Switch as one
Boy,
button.
what the fuck?
What?
Play your drum to the beat and give different commands to the Patapon army. For example, Pata Pata Patapon
move
advances
forward.
them
Yeah.
forward.
So it's 1 and 2.
While
Okay.
Pon Pon Patapon has
This is
them
crazy,
attack.
right, Greg?
That's very crazy. I did not see this coming. Is PlayStation publishing it? Did it say?
And if you string together combos with
Not
good
yet.
timing,
I was running.
the
Hi.
Patapons enter fever mode
I've never
and
seen
get a
Greg run
big
that
boost
fast.
in power.
Few games. Get me off the review grind.
Horse riding Kibapon to the shield savvy Tatepon. Build
This
up
is
your
breaking my
battalion
brain.
to take on hordes of fierce
They said, we see you,
foes.
Xbox. We can do it too. We're PlayStation.
Plus, new features
Oh.
have been added,
Oh.
so you can advance to the beat
Love
of
that
your own
font.
drum.
the Nintendo font.
Oh.
It's everywhere.
Lead the Patapons and march forth. When Patapon 1+2 Replay launches on Nintendo
Entertainment.
Switch
Developed by
July
Bandai
11th.
Namco.
Interesting.
Hell yeah.
Who made it originally?
Welcome to Zephyr Town, a cozy place nestled in a
I mean, that's what I
windswept
thought.
valley. This is where your new life begins.
Damn, I did not
Come
have
on.
on my fucking bingo card that there'd be a
First cropping
Cozy.
up on the Nintendo DS system,
Life sim
this
game.
immersive farming and life sim has no shortage of activities to get up to.
This is the first one so far, right? I think.
Yeah.
I think yesterday I might have said
Farm
expect
while
4.
growing
Oh, yeah.
crops and caring for animals.
look at that font, man. That Nintendo font's so present.
It's everywhere.
Wares
I need
of
a
the
new
town's
default
weekly
font
bazaar.
for the Switch too. It's my big request.
As
No,
bazaar
not a chance.
sales
I got that
grow,
higher than
you'll
HDR.
help the once famous market regain its former splendor.
Inspiring, honestly.
You can also get to know the locals.
Do you have that
Patapon,
higher
man.
than
Spend more
thieves?
time with you.
I wonder how that
and
works.
maybe nurture
It
a
just feels like
relationship if you
Options
find
are
that
now
special
available that I
someone.
didn't think before.
As far as what?
Like what?
I mean, Japan Studios
Plus,
games,
taking
like
advantage of Zephyr Town's
There must be
windy
like a weird
conditions
history of Patapon.
Can make travel
I mean, well,
and other tasks
we already had
a
Lego
breeze.
Horizon.
That's true.
which is crazy.
But did
Yeah.
I missed? Did PlayStation was the PlayStation logo
the
anywhere?
Sony logo.
Okay, the Sony
Winds
logo
of
was
Yeah.
there
change are coming,
and being developed.
and
Okay,
your new life on the
Developed
farm
by
begins
Bandai
when
Namco. Huh.
Yeah, I guess that
Story of
does
Seasons
kick things
Grand
open.
Bazaar launches on the Nintendo Switch system August 27th.
we can get Dark Cloud on the Switch, yo.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
I
Like,
hope.
Please look forward to the latest entry in the Story of Seasons series.
That's such a bizarre pick.
Next, please take a look at this.
I will.
Sure. What?
Wait,
What?
Wait, for the Switch 1? Not like this.
Before Xbox?
Wait, what?
And I'll take with me the memory.
what's
To be my sunshine after the rain. Oh, yeah. hard to say goodbye to your stars. Hi, Tim. It's me, Greg Miller, Mr. Stars in the Bank. I'm inside your car. I hope you're having fun watching this final Nintendo Switch Direct. I really hope it's hitting all the right notes for you. As you know, in less than a week now,
I hate this guy.
on April 2nd, a Wednesday, I'm cashing in Stars in the Bank, and I am taking your 3 stars that you owe me, that you stole from me. That you stole from me. I'm going to disrupt the entire Nintendo Switch 2
Psycho.
presentation just to get those stars. So I thought on this farewell tour, I would give you a teaser of that by interrupting this final Nintendo Switch Direct. Now, of course, the entire point of the farewell tour, from my perspective, has been
What is the point?
to do nice things for you. And so what I thought I would do here is be your friend. Man to man, all right? Friend to friend, co-founder to co-founder, partner to partner. And I think the best gift someone could give you would be honesty. And so here we are,
How long is this? Jesus.
the final Switch Nintendo Direct.
Was
And so I'm
Patapon
sure
real?
there's a lot of emotions you're going through, a lot of good times. You're thinking
good
about all the great
question.
directs you've seen and stuff. But I think I need to be honest with you and remind you Nintendo doesn't care about you. They've never cared about you, Tim. The Switch doesn't care about you, Tim.
We need some self-editing
And we
here.
can sit here right now and wax nostalgic about how great the Switch was. But we would be overlooking several problems that I have written down. Of course, the
No.
Nintendo
Oh, God,
Switch
how long
has
is this?
Jesus
no
Christ.
4K.
Fucking shit.
Come on. Come on, Tim. You like it. You're always talking to me about OLEDs and stuff.
Why is the
You know
fucking
it needs
Nintendo
4K,
logo still on the
alright?
bottom right?
It has bad online. I mean, I think it's a dead horse. We've known that for a long time. No Metroid Prime 4.
Fucking Roger
Maybe that
put that
changed
there.
today. Maybe they finally, maybe they did something, but I doubt you're playing it tonight. Their biggest things were Wii U ports. Wii U ports. That's what got you tickled on this one.
Was there a
Of
direct
course,
today?
There weren't a lot of themes.
For
A lot of
real,
people
like
got
how
about that.
how
It
deep
wasn't
does this
Why is
go?
it so long?
No Pokemon on Switch Online. Tim,
He doesn't even know what that means.
Tim, again, the gift today is honesty. You're going to sit there and honestly say that's okay. You're going to ignore everything that's happened there.
We have so much to do today.
GameCube games, not on Switch
God,
Online.
was Patapon real?
Was Patapon real? Can someone confirm?
On Nintendo Online. I don't know. What was that stuff with Bluetooth? It just happened one day. It just worked.
Christ.
Voice chat's no good, no HDR. They had Joy-Con drift. There was no Mother 3. The Pokemon games run like shit. All the Mario sports games have been mid. The Peach game, I say no more. And then, of course, Star Fox was nowhere to be found. Timothy?
He's making good
I
points.
can't wait. I can't wait to take your stars. But I need you to look yourself in the mirror today and really think about what the Switch did and didn't do. And why you celebrate it the way you celebrate it.
Such a long video.
I know this is an emotional time for you. I know it's going to be hard for you to lose those stars to me.
I don't know
need
what
you to be honest with
what's
yourself,
real,
though,
like-
the same way I'm being honest with you when I tell you I farted in your car.
good digital zoom by Roger.
And now, Mr. Stars in the Bank says, you can resume your Nintendo Direct.
Fucking shit.
Jesus Christ.
I will take full credit for that edit. Thank you.
Oh man. Well, thank you, Barrett. I guess. Pause this real quick. Oh my god. Pause this, please.
I don't know if he can. Oh, there you go.
Was Patapon real?
Patapon was real.
Yeah,
The only
And
thing
is
that-
this real?
this is real. The only thing I faked you out with this morning was the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay.
If you remember yesterday, I asked you what you were most excited for. You didn't give a great answer, so I just decided
That's
to...
good.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. You were trying to get me fucking good.
Yep.
I have a lot of questions here. Is
Yeah.
Patapon fucking real? I'm really excited for what we're about to see because do you guys know what this is?
No.
Oh, yeah, you do. It's exciting. I can't
Eternal
believe it's
Strands,
here.
what is
I also need to say, I don't know how he got in my car.
That was your car?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
yeah,
yeah,
the
he
first
said,
thing
and then he farted in my car.
Oh, I heard
It
that.
was a whole
Okay.
narrative, Andy. It was the last 20 minutes of our lives. I don't know how he got in the car.
You didn't leave your keys somewhere?
No. Whoa, that's how. That's
Yeah.
how. I know that sounds stupid. I have an extra set of keys on my yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
He got the extra set. You motherfuckers. Okay, Patapon real. Greg,
Everything else real.
asshole.
Insane person.
Final Fantasy not happening, which I was really thrown off with that.
I was very excited. I was like, wait, this doesn't make sense, but all right, let's make it happen.
Oh my. Okay, well, everybody, at least we're getting to some real good. Hold on, you promised me this is real.
The only thing I edited in
Okay.
was what we just watched.
Okay.
I did not. I only had enough time of a
Yeah.
turnaround to capture that, edit it, to only insert that.
Well, I'm excited.
promise.
Let's fucking go.
Oh. Wow, you have
Oh.
such a good eye.
I've watched that trailer 3,000 times. Cool purple.
So cool.
Got the quiet version. Nothing hits like
This
Metroid
is the
atmospheric
unknown
music.
planet Vuros. Here, Samus finds a verdant jungle with a colossal tree at its center.
Avatar.
I mean, this is giving
In order
Avatar.
to survive and escape this planet that she was unexpectedly transported to, Samus must scan stone figures and other relics to carve a path forward.
Hell yeah. They made a Metroid Prime.
They made a Metroid
Not
Prime.
alone, though. Abhorrent, alien creatures living in the jungle are waiting to strike.
Oh, yeah, with guitar.
As she explores the planet, Samus is granted mysterious and ancient powers. Psychic abilities. These powers allow Samus to operate mechanisms and to open doors. They also allow her to control the trajectory of her beams.
Whoa.
Her mind. But why were these powers bestowed upon Samus?
Sick.
Theros, Mantanaga, Shakaran.
Hell yeah.
And what will be her fate after being summoned to Vuros? The threads intertwining beyond space and time are beginning to weave a new tale.
And they can really just cook visually, huh?
Aw, boo!
We're gonna get it next week.
Intentina Galamsey.
We put our faith in you, chosen one. Oh,
New colorway.
Please, thank God. I was gonna hate so hard on that suit with the color, with the purple.
I don't
too.
like the purple. Even here, I don't like the purple.
Yeah.
But the red's hot, though.
Yeah,
Red's
that
fire.
looks fucking
It looks
fire.
like even more challenges await Samus. We hope you're looking forward to exploring with Samus's new psychic abilities.
Sometimes the game looks exactly like it needs to.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to some more headlines.
Fuck you, Tim.
Ready to stir up some mischief? Once upon a time, there was a drab coffee shop that transformed into a magical potion cafe. As the newest potionista of the Cursed Cafe, you'll craft concoctions for Disney villains and get to know them
What
in
the
a
fuck?
new light. Mix ingredients to brew all sorts of strange elixirs. Then serve them to your villainous visitors, including Ursula and Gaston. With help from Yzma, you can upgrade your ingredients to produce some wildly
Cusco's
wicked
poison.
creations. The potions you make can influence each customer's storylines,
That's pretty good.
leading to different
really good.
outcomes every time you play. Who knows what mischief might happen? Disney Villains Cursed Cafe launches on Nintendo Switch later today.
Get him, John Drake.
Summon a spellbinding adventure.
Ooh.
Welcome to Witchbrook College, where students strive to master the magical arts.
Do you know this?
During
I've
class,
heard of it.
Use
I don't know
magic
anything about it.
circles to perform rituals.
Looks like
Fly
some cool
on
Greg
brooms,
shit.
and learn advanced techniques
Unless
to
maybe I'm
go
getting this
from
mixed
witch
up.
in training to skilled spellcaster. There's also
Yeah,
plenty
man.
to do outside of class.
I'm thinking of Witchwood.
Hang out with friends at their homes.
This looks
Take
cute
on
as hell.
Yeah, I
various
like
jobs
this.
to help pay for tuition. Or use the spells you've learned to craft and sell original items. Plus, up to 4
That's smart.
players can make magic together in online co-op.
Whoa.
Hold on.
Explore this whimsical world on the road to graduation and beyond. Are you ready for a spellbinding journey? Enrollment begins when Witchbrook flies onto
Okay.
Nintendo Switch this holiday.
That looks like it's made with an audience in mind, and I mean that as a positive.
Oh, yeah.
Action, adventure, and arcade games await.
Like, I got 5 people in mind, and I'm like, oh, they're going to love
On
that
a
game.
fantastical mission to eliminate a mysterious deity.
Live on
In this
Goldfish.
hand-drawn platforming
wow.
adventure,
This
you'll
looks pretty.
explore
Yeah, I
an
fuck with this.
expansive
Dude.
archipelago where nightmares and wonder collide. Upgrade your trusty cane with magical parts. Then use its abilities to find your own path
It's
through
Cuphead
the
and
enchanting
DuckTales
world.
put together.
Can
I'm
you
in, dude.
uncover the secrets the archipelago holds? Find out when The Eternal Life of Goldman launches on Nintendo Switch this
Hold
holiday.
up.
Celebrate the 40th anniversary of Gradius with a
Sick.
collection of arcade shoot-'em-up games from across the series. Titles include Gradius, Salamander, Light Force, Gradius 2, Gradius 3, and
How high can they
Salamander
go?
2.
Oh.
Some titles come with multiple versions, including
Hell yeah.
ones from
This is how
different
you do
regions
collections.
and launch
Do it all.
years.
Give it all in one thing.
Plus, take the helm in a brand new entry, Salamander 3.
What?
Wow.
Gradius Origins launches on the Nintendo Switch system August 7th. Pre-orders begin later today on Nintendo eShop. Battle to the beat in Rift of the Necrodancer.
Hey.
Press the corresponding buttons in each lane to fight monsters in rhythm-based combat. Keep the cadence going with epic boss battles.
This game
quirky
is neat. I
minigames,
like it.
Remix stages,
I haven't
and
played it,
global
but
leaderboards.
looks like my shit.
Plus, more musical mayhem awaits in the Celeste Music Pack paid
Sick.
DLC.
Oh, come on.
And be on the lookout for more DLC in the future. Rift
That was the
of
pizza
the
guy.
Necrodancer launches on Nintendo
Oh, from the
Switch
Flash
later
Pizza Tower.
Wow.
today.
Oh,
Yeah, that looked like the Pizza Tower
Like,
guy.
come on from the Carl
Let's see
Flash.
what's in store. Welcome to Tamagotchi Plaza.
Okay.
A brand new entry in the Tamagotchi Connection series.
Tamagotchi, huh?
Really?
Yeah,
I've been
I've
saying
heard
gotcha
this.
my whole life.
Galore.
And it
Design glasses at
upsets
the
me.
eyewear shop.
Is that right?
Tamagotchi, I have no
Polished
idea.
Pearly whites solo or with a friend at the dentist.
It just doesn't feel
And
right.
arrange plates at the afternoon tea shop. 12 wonderful stores need your help. Provide good customer service to get high ratings and upgrade each shop. In doing so, you'll get to meet more Tamagotchi, making the town livelier than before.
This feels like the
With
Venom
over
trailer.
100 new
Remember?
and classic Tamagotchi.
Symbiote. We're like,
business
no,
right. No, we don't do
that
that.
can't be right.
Get ready to set up shop when Tamagotchi Plaza launches on Nintendo Switch June 27th.
Man. I'm getting like so many good Game Showdown questions from this. Zah.
Welcome to Pokemon Legends ZA, a new title in the Pokemon series. You'll begin your adventure by choosing one of 3 partner Pokemon. The setting is this metropolis that also appeared in the Pokemon X and Pokemon Y games, Lumio City. To make it easier for people and Pokemon to coexist, a company named Quasartico Inc. is carrying out an urban redevelopment plan. Here, we'll get a glimpse into the lives of the Pokemon and people of Lumio City. Scattered all over town are wild zones. These areas are special environments where wild Pokemon can live comfortably, even within the city.
Ooh, I got information on Witchbrook. It is
You
a
can
game that I
catch
was aware
Pokemon
of.
here.
It's from the Stardew Valley devs.
Publisher.
Yeah. Or publisher, thank you, sorry.
But they might be hostile.
Rest in peace,
If
our
you sense
Heracross,
trouble,
man. God,
get to safety.
so sad.
There are Pokemon that live outside wild zones too. Some of them can even be found on rooftops.
You can tell me there would be no terrorist plots in this city with
People
like
and
strong
Pokemon
Pokemon.
live
There probably
easygoing
will.
lives
There probably
in
are,
Lumio
right?
City.
Some
Okay.
team, you know what I mean? Terrorist plots and Pokemon plots go hand in
When
hand.
night
Yeah.
Andy.
falls,
Oh.
the
Terrorists
city's
come out.
aura transforms. Highly skilled trainers are invited to participate in a tournament. The ZA Royale.
At night,
Oh,
it's
come on.
Fucking go!
That's fucking
This is
sick.
what I'm talking about.
That's sick.
at night. The
If you're
purge
spotted,
begins.
They'll challenge you to battle.
Oh shit! They're bringing back the eyeline thing. Scarlet and
Strike
Violet didn't have
first
that.
before being seen, and you'll land a surprise attack.
Jump
During
people.
battles, using
That's
a
cheap
super
shit, though.
effective
You can't
move
be
at the
doing
right
that.
moment is key.
You become unhonorable, dishonorable.
And with Mega Evolution, some Pokemon can power up even more.
Mega Evolution is the coolest
You'll
mechanic
start at
they've
rank
added.
Z and work your way up to rank A.
Some dude's gonna open
it's
his
Tony
window.
Hawk Project
I'm trying
8
to sleep, dude.
for Pokemon.
Fuck.
Trainers who reach the top are said to have a wish granted.
Stop fighting so late.
Day and night are two sides to Lumio City. It seems there are even more secrets waiting to be uncovered. What will you find on your adventure? Pokemon Legends ZA launches on Nintendo Switch later this
You
year.
can't be having a big Pokemon if you're living in that city. Like they gotta be.
In Lumio City, where the game
Small
is set,
cats or dogs
the war
in this apartment.
Like, get your Snorlax
day
out of here.
and night. It seems there are even more secrets to uncover.
Are you getting an extra
Please be on the
bedroom?
lookout for more information in the future. Next, please take a look at this.
Hello there.
Rhythm
The
Heaven?
game you're about to see
It's the
Oh,
Reddit
let's
logo.
freaking go.
doesn't have a big, epic story.
This
But
is so
what
funny.
it
I've
does have
never.
is lots
Oh my
of
god,
funny
that's
little
awesome. I've
rhythm
never played
games.
one, but there's a lot of shit in Smash Brothers.
You
Hmm.
wanna see?
I've also not played a Rhythm Heaven, but I played a lot of games
Just
inspired
press
by
the
Rhythm
button
Heaven.
to jump through the ring.
Well, this is cool. Definitely Horseman, but very cool.
It sounds easy.
Why are they
But the timing
introducing
is
this though?
super
Like it's
tricky.
the fucking.
like it's never existed before.
Maybe
You're
you
like,
could try it in time to a rhythm.
I fuck with this so heavy, dude. I fuck with this so heavy.
In this game, you might do almost anything, but you'll need to do it in rhythm.
Kevin would be so terrible at this.
With practice, you might even
Did you
be
ever play
able
that
to
game
play it with your
Melatonin?
eyes closed.
No, the ASMR type game or
Yeah.
whatever. No, I never did.
I mean, it's basically Rhythm Heaven, but it's a lot chiller. Love that game.
Get into the rhythm with a brand new entry in the Rhythm Heaven series.
very
Rhythm
WarioWare-ish
Heaven
with all the
Groove.
different
Yeah.
art styles.
Yeah. Really?
Well, homie, what?
What are you doing?
That was Rhythm Heaven Groove, a brand new
What are we
entry
doing?
in the Rhythm Heaven series. It includes lots of music produced by renowned Japanese musician Tsunku.
Getting delayed to 2027.
What the actual fuck are they thinking?
We hope you're looking forward to it.
I'm excited to try it, but
it's March.
We have news about the use of digital
You can say
games
that for
on your
E3
system.
for summer game. Fest.
Please take a look.
news about the use of digital
You could have saved that for the
games.
September Direct.
Yeah.
With game cards, you can put a game featuring Mario in this Nintendo Switch system and a Legend of Zelda game in this one, freely inserting the games you have on hand into any system you want. But what if digital games could be as flexible and convenient as game cards? Well, here's what we came up with. Introducing the Virtual Game Card.
We're making it harder for you to...
In the future, virtual game cards can be used for digital games.
What is going on?
When purchasing the digital version of a game, it will be
Andy,
loaded onto
it's
your
me.
system as a virtual game card,
Okay.
allowing you to play that title.
Hmm.
Your digital games will be lined up as virtual game cards on a dedicated management screen.
This is awesome.
Here, you can load and eject your virtual game cards and manage which games you can play on your system.
This is a good joke, Greg and Barrett. You got the narrator to do it also.
It was really hard to find them.
If you have two Nintendo Switch systems, you can eject a virtual game card from one and load it onto the second. Now you can play this game on the second system wherever and whenever you want, just as if you had inserted a physical game card.
I'm so lost
With
right now.
virtual game cards, you can freely load and arrange which games you play on up to two systems. Local communication with your second system is required, but only the first time. You can also lend out virtual game cards to your
Okay.
Nintendo account family group members.
This is why.
Connect to your family group member system via local wireless when you want to lend a game. Choose the title you're lending and who
Okay.
you're lending it to. And you're done. They can now play on their own system. You can only lend one game at a time to a particular person. Games can be lent out for 2 weeks, after which they will automatically return to you. Making digital
I mean, that's good. How many
games
times
even
you let a game out and
easier
not
to
got it
use
back, you
with
know?
a Virtual game card.
You have my virtual digital license.
The virtual
Oh,
game card
Nintendo.
feature lets you swap games between Nintendo Switch systems as
Oh.
well as to Nintendo Switch 2 systems. This feature is planned to be added via a system update in late
They lied.
April.
They said there'd be no Switch 2 news.
Let's take a look at more Nintendo Switch games.
I think if they just started off saying this is a family plan thing to like help you out with your kids,
That makes sense.
but like
They had to like figure out like, all right, what's the easiest way for us to explain what this is? Oh, we'll call it a virtual game card, and then over-explain what the fuck this is for.
Ion Live.
So, and maybe I'll ask this later, but like,
Yeah,
what-
let's
what-
save it
how-
for the breakdown.
I'm confused on what the benefit is of that versus just having your account tied to another Switch and just downloading the game.
The primary
digitally.
user and like sub user, it is not ideal. It
Okay.
works though. I don't have much more faith in this system.
Okay.
But as somebody that has multiple Switches and like has to pass back and forth, it can be frustrating.
Okay.
It also says that you only need to be connected to internet when loading or ejecting or whatever. And so I think it
Oh,
also
so you can play
helps with,
offline.
like, yes.
Okay.
Uncover
On a secondary
history once
system or
more.
however the fuck that works.
An HD remaster of Saga Frontier 2 is venturing on to Nintendo Switch. Meet Gustav, the Royal Heir, and Will, the Explorer. Two heroes whose fates and legacies will intertwine across generations in this epic RPG.
I think they need to Go back to the HD drawing board a little bit with these
Yeah.
characters.
Experience the original story,
HD remaster.
along with brand new events that expand the vibrant world of
Honestly, maybe
Songdale.
just up the contrast on them.
Yeah, that's all it needs.
Plus, team up with more characters in battle. And transfer stats to allies through the parameter inheritance system. After finishing the main story, you can test your mettle and might
Bunch of
against
Nepo
even
babies
more
getting
powerful
inheritances.
bosses. What histories will you uncover through the ages? Saga Frontier 2 Remastered launches on Nintendo Switch later today. Monumental adventures
go.
await. Embark on peaceful journeys across this series of beautiful puzzle games. Wander through isometric worlds.
Would you guys believe
filled
I've
with
never played
stunning
Monument Valley?
landscapes to manipulate.
I would, because you're not an iPhone
Optical
guy.
illusions.
That's the exact
to
reason, yeah.
Yeah,
and
same here.
I've always wanted to play
mystifying
Monument
secrets
Valley.
to
I know that
unfold.
they've come out recently on more
In
stuff,
Monument
but like
Valley,
back in the
Lead
day,
the
I'd never.
silent Princess Ida in her quest for forgiveness, while outsmarting the enigmatic Crow people.
There's like such a
A
me.
different
type
journey
of game.
awaits in Monument Valley 2.
Have you played Captain Toad?
Guide Row in her adventure
No, never played Captain
through
Toad either.
motherhood,
Oh, man.
as
Yeah?
she and her
Yeah.
child unlock
You have
the
a flight
secrets
coming up.
of the
Maybe that's
sacred
what you pop in,
geometry.
you know?
Man.
Both games contain all their additional chapters, add-ons, and DLC.
What a good vibe
The
this game
first
has.
two Monument Valley games launch on
Great
Nintendo
font
Switch
treatment.
April 15th. Pre-orders
great presence in
begin
House of Cards
later
on
today
Netflix.
on
That's
Nintendo
true.
eShop. And help Noor on her journey to restore the world's light in Monument Valley 3, setting sail on Nintendo Switch this summer.
Oh,
Wait,
oh.
is this?
This is Clap Hands.
This is
Oh
this is
my
everybody's
God,
golf.
What the fuck?
This is everybody's
Greg,
golf.
Greg, get over here.
Let's
Oh my God!
Nintendo Switch.
Gaming is saved.
Aim.
Nintendo just saying,
Time
fuck
your
you,
button
PlayStation, we'll
press
do it all.
just
You can't do it,
right.
we'll do it.
And take your shot.
Show me customization. I want to see customization.
Yeah.
And am I unlocking items as I play? Because that's what it's all about, guys.
Side spins.
But this has to be published by PlayStation, right?
and other
No, they don't
special
own.
shots.
Wow,
Everyone's- it's
yeah,
everybody's
yeah,
golf,
Hold
yeah.
on, you're right.
In the single-player challenge mode, compete in tournaments and face off against
What
a
the fuck
range
is
of
happening?
rivals to become the ultimate golfer.
I deserve this.
Oh, let's fucking go.
In Wacky Golf,
Wacky
your
golf.
shots could get pulled into holes, or obstacles might fall. It's golf that's not quite par for the course.
Nice one,
Four
Greg.
golfers can hit the fairway together locally or in online play.
I can't wait for this.
So just relax and get ready to tee off. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots lands
Wow.
on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah,
this
Sony
year.
Interactive Entertainment.
Yeah.
Also
Developed by
coming to
Namco again, though.
Yeah, not Clap Hands.
PS5 and PC as well.
Oh, shit.
Unite some of Marvel's greatest superheroes
Oh,
in the fight
whoa.
against evil.
Ultimate Alliance.
Pair up two heroes from the roster
Yeah.
of the team, including the
Fucking
likes
from
of the
Shredder's Revenge
spectacular
team.
Spider-Man and the ferocious
Oh my
Wolverine
God.
to
That's
take
fucking
on the
awesome.
challenge. From close quarters combatants
Oh,
to
it looks
aerial
so
aces,
good.
You can mix and match a
Beat 'em up,
variety of
side scroll.
heroes for an amazing
Yeah.
array of
The art looks
possibilities.
amazing.
Oh my God, they look like
And
NPC.
swap
Spidey,
between
look
your
at
team of
Spidey.
two at any time. Take advantage of your team's strengths to overwhelm your foes.
Dude, their art
Plus,
style is just
up to
so
4
sick.
players can assemble for local or online co-op play.
Dotemu, man.
Yeah.
I
The
freaking love
battle
them.
for the fate of the Marvel Universe begins when Marvel Cosmic Invasion launches on the Nintendo Switch
But again,
system
everybody's
this
golf.
holiday.
Come on.
Yeah, no.
That was Marvel Cosmic Invasion, where you'll battle as a tag team.
Did y'all see the
of
date for
different
this one?
superheroes.
Holiday 2025.
Next is our last game announcement.
Oh.
Please take a look.
Animal Crossing? Farted.
Oh, Tamagotchi
Oh.
life.
Yeah, horseman.
How you gonna have Tamagotchi?
Horseman.
That's why they're like Tamagotchi, because you know what I mean. They don't want to get too. Oh God.
How refreshing.
Is that Helen
Jesus
Hunt?
Christ.
That looks like me in 30 years.
Hiya.
Never changed Nintendo.
This is the most Nintendo thing to ever happen.
Living the dream.
Living the dream.
Let's freaking go! Let's freaking go! Peak Tendo is back.
What the fuck is? Oh shit, she's huge.
Did you want to talk?
Glad that was only a dream.
That's Peak Tendo right there.
Was Tomodachi
That's Peak
Life
Tendo.
Living the Dream, the first new entry in the series in over 10 years. In the trailer, we saw Mii characters living on an island out at sea. What kinds of interactions do you think they'll have?
Bizarre ones.
We hope you're looking forward to it.
Oof, I'm adding Everybody's Golf Hot Shots to my fucking Steam wish list.
Thank you for
Ooh,
watching
yeah.
today's Nintendo Direct so far.
So far.
Our final announcement is something a little different that's not a game.
Oh, okay.
Here's
They
Mr.
said it was the last
Miyamoto
game
to
announcement.
introduce it.
Hello.
It's gotta
I'm
be
Shigeru
DK World
Miyamoto.
type shit.
Thank you for watching today's Nintendo Direct.
We already know everything about it.
God, what a beautiful
Since
head of hair.
2011,
Mario 2?
Nintendo Direct
Mario
has
Movie 2?
delivered Nintendo news directly to you. And now, these presentations have grown into an event that many people watch. Thank you all very much. We'll continue to broadcast Nintendo Direct presentations, but we're also launching a new channel based on the concept of delivering information to you directly. This is a smart device app called Nintendo Today, which functions like a daily calendar. In the app, you can view different Nintendo events. We will also be delivering all
If they tell
sorts
me
of
this is
content
available in
about
2026,
Nintendo
I
games and
swear to God, I'm
characters
burning
in
this
the
place
game.
down.
They got dates in there for 2025.
After the Nintendo Direct for Nintendo Switch 2 on April 2nd,
It's for the marketing rollout.
news about Nintendo Switch 2 will be delivered to you daily and directly through the Nintendo Today app as well.
This is gonna make for great KHD content.
Nintendo Today will be available to download on smart devices
So
later
they're
today.
putting their Twitter account in an
Anyone
app.
with a Nintendo account can
Because
use the
Twitter's
app.
full of Nazis. We feel it's not the safest place.
That's all
Gotta figure out a
I have
way to
share.
make this a segment on KHD.
I hope you enjoy using
Yeah.
Nintendo
Yeah,
Today.
What's
the
Nintendo
daily
doing
check-in.
today?
Yeah.
That's all. For
They brought
today's Nintendo
Miyamoto
Direct.
out for that.
Thank you for watching.
It's important.
I needed to see that hair though. I feel better after seeing that head of hair. God, he's gorgeous. He looks like a Pokemon trainer.
Look at Greg.
Oh God.
Jesus
God.
Christ.
Wow.
Honestly, we can only thank our friend Kevin Ace X because Kevin Ace X, after one of the Greg interruptions, Kevin Ace X told me, "I thought you were going to film Greg being in the direct." And I said that I was like, oh, like Kevin mentioned, I thought he was going to do that. And Greg goes, fuck, that would have been a great idea, Andy. Damn it, I wish I had thought of that.
And let me tell you, the second I learned that we weren't reacting to this live, I immediately texted Greg. I was like,
time.
we're never gonna have a better chance than today.
Yeah,
It's time to play the game.
Yeah, y'all nailed it. That was good. We're going to give all of our thoughts on what we just saw in a kind of funny Gamescast that's about to begin after a word from our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you in part by Stash. Are you still putting off saving and investing because you'll get to it someday? Stash turns someday into today. Stash isn't just an investing app, it's a registered investment advisor that combines automated investing with dependable financial strategies to help you reach your goals faster. They'll provide you with personalized advice on what to invest in based on your goals, or if you want to just sit back and watch your money go to work, you can opt into their award-winning expert-managed portfolio that picks stocks for you. Stash has helped millions of Americans reach their financial goals and starts at just $3 per month. Don't let your savings sit around. Make it work harder for you. Go to get.stash.com/kindafunny to see how you can receive $25 towards your first stock purchase and to view important disclosures. That's get.stash.com/kindafunny. Paid non-client endorsement. Not representative of all clients and not a guarantee. Investment advisory services offered by Stash Investments, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Investing involves risk and investments may lose value. Offer is subject to T&Cs. What's up and welcome back to the Kinda Funny Games Cast for Thursday, March 27th, 2025. Of course, I'm your host, Tim Geddes. I am joined today by Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Good day, Tim.
And Andy Cortez.
Tamagotchi.
We learned something today, or did we just hear someone say something wrong a couple times? We got to get to the bottom of this.
We know how Nintendo is. Nintendo has the most stringent fucking, like, if you do something wrong, you will never, ever play a Nintendo game ever again. You know what I mean? There's no way they would let that go out.
I don't know if they have respect.
Thinking that it was incorrect.
You know? They ended the show with Tamagotchi Life. Tamagotchi Life? I don't even know how to say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think that was Tamagotchi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right now I'm looking up Tamagotchi enunciation. I can't figure out how to spell enunciation.
Pronunciation?
Isn't enunciation? Oh, you're right. Pronunciation, yes.
It says gotchi. Yeah. Ga. G-A-A. Ga.
Yeah. So we're right. You're wrong, Nintendo.
Yep.
Yeah. Take that. Well, everyone, what the hell was that?
Sorry, that was my volume.
Tamagotchi.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Tamagotchi, everybody. Well, welcome to the Gamescast. We're about to break down the final Nintendo Switch 1 Direct that we just watched. We're going to talk about every single thing we saw, what we thought about the showcase overall, and what we think it might mean for the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct that's coming in just a few short days. Of course, this is the Gamescast. Each and every weekday, we get together to talk about the latest in reviews, previews, video games in general. If there's a big topic we should be talking about, guess what? We probably are. And it's only one of the shows we do. We also do Games Daily that covers all the biggest news of the day. And then we also do a flurry of other shows like In Review, where we rank, review, and recap different movie franchises. Right now, we're doing the Alien and Predator movies. And later today, we're doing Aliens versus Predator Requiem. Can't wait to talk about that with the boys to see where we rank it against the other amazing and horrible films in these franchises. Of course, you can be part of this show by super chatting in. If you have any thoughts on what we saw, disappointment, hype, whatever it is, please super chat in and we'll get to those throughout the show. Of course, you can get the Kinda Funny membership. It gets you the shows ad free. You get the Greg Way, awesome stuff. You can also be a Patreon producer like Delaney Twining, Carl Jacobs, and Omega Buster. Today, we are brought to you by Stash. We'll tell you about that later. For now, let's get into it. The topic of the show. So we're here. We just watched the final Nintendo Direct. Bless, how you feeling?
It was a Direct. You know, we talked about this for the last year, the Four Horsemen, the games that are announced and the games that come out, which feel like they're signaling the end of the Switch and feel like they're a result of how late we are into this generation, right? And like that feeling of, oh, Nintendo's holding the big guns for the next thing, and so don't expect anything big. And like this Direct very, very much felt like that. I think when you get a Direct surprise announced for the week before the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, you know what you're getting into. You know what's going to be par for the course. And so like we go through this, and I look down at the announcements, and I'm like, okay, yes, this makes sense, even though there are surprises here that are delightful. I think Patapon being announced for Switch is delightful just because it's such an unexpected thing. And I think what that signals for the future of PlayStation, especially when we lump in Everybody's Golf into there's a conversation to be had as far as, oh, wait, if Everybody's Golf in Patapon can come to Switch just out of nowhere, developed by Bandai Namco for some reason, like, what else can that mean? I think there's a conversation that we'll have later about that. But then you get other neat games. Witchbrook is a big one. That's a game that I know a lot of Stardew Valley fans have been looking forward to. I think if you asked Joey about that, Joey's gonna go crazy over how Witchbrook is one of those games that has felt like it's been in development forever. I had a friend text me this morning that was like, oh, there's a game that was announced. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but I've been waiting for this game since 2017. And I was like, oh, did they announce Hollow Knight Silksong? and then seeing Witchbrook, I was like, that makes sense, actually. That makes sense that is the one.
That's been in development since 2017?
That's been in development for a long time. I think they said they were waiting for it since 2017, so I don't know if that's just like since Stardew Valley or if it really has been since that long since they announced it.
That's cool.
But then you have other bizarre things. The virtual game card thing, we're going to talk about that. I think it's weird in how they presented it, and I still don't think I fully understand what it is, but I'm excited to talk to you guys about that. But overall, like, there's a lot of stuff here where I'm like, I really just don't care about a lot of these games, but also not everything's going to be for me, right? I think the pocket of games that are for me, I'm excited about, even though most of the stuff here doesn't really do it for me. What's up, Barrett?
Was there any Wind Waker today?
Oh, no, there was.
Was there any Twilight Princess today?
I owe you a fucking pizza, don't I?
You owe me a fucking pizza today, Bless.
Wow. Pizza bet.
Wow. And that's
I was
going to say, that's another thing is we got to have a conversation about the things that weren't here, because that's going to be such a fascinating, what does that mean for the future? Because there was no Zelda, but also I'm wearing my Donkey Kong shirt, my DK64 shirt. There was no Switch Online stuff here, which makes me think, are we going to get more Switch Online stuff at the Switch 2 presentation? And what form does that take?
We saved that for the meal, not the appetizer.
I mean,
Donkey Kong 64.
Yeah, baby.
Fair enough.
They're shutting it all down for Switch Online 2. They're getting rid of everything else.
What do you think of this?
I thought it was okay. We got what we expected. This was like, if I were to average out every other direct we've ever watched and boil it down to, like, this would what would come out of the lab. This is the result of it all, right? It's a bunch of, a couple of games that look interesting and stuff that I might want to play, and a lot of other things that I have no interest in, but there's clearly a fan base for, because they're always pushing games like that. I thought Witchbrook looked neat. Fucking Secret Life of Walter Schmidt or whatever.
Eternal Life of Goldman.
Eternal Life of Goldman, that's the one. Cool look at Metroid. Hadn't seen Metroid in a while, right? This is the second time we've seen actual Metroid gameplay. Really, really neat seeing what they're cooking out over there. And then, of course, that awesome scene at the end with the new suit. Very cool looking. But, just some weird stuff with the game cartridges, along with this little app that I can't wait to talk more about. Tim, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of where you guys are. I think maybe at the end of the day, maybe a little higher, just because I appreciate that Nintendo Directs in the last couple, maybe like year or two, have made space for collections of old games, like the Gradius thing and stuff like that. Like recently we got the Marvel vs. Capcom collection, the fighting collections. Like, they just keep putting out these collections that I think are good, and like, I'm such a fan of those old things, so it's nice to see them back. The amount of HD remasters of classic JRPGs, like, we're somehow not done with that yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Saga Frontier 2 remaster.
I appreciate that they're like, hey, we're going to do them all. You know what I mean? And they're clearly, like Andy's saying, is an audience for those. So I think that stuff's great. But on top of that, there was multiple announcements here that I'm excited about, like Eternal Life of Goldman. Like, first time I've seen that. Really hyped for that now. Everybody's Golf and Patapon, like, that's kind of big deal stuff just in terms of the optically, inside baseball, like, what's that mean? And like, it gets me so excited for some PlayStation IP that I would have thought would ever come back in any way. But now it's like, all right, cool. Well, if you open up to that level of an install base for weird games, Nintendo, Patapon could be a Nintendo game. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's cool. I do think it's a little weird that Nintendo seemed to almost tit for tat have like a call and response for games. It's like, cool, Patapon is in this direct. Also Rhythm Heaven.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like Tamagotchi. We also got Tamagotchi, whatever. It's like, all right, that's interesting. See Metroid Prime, it looks amazing. Like, this looks there was a long time I was like, wow, Metroid Prime, before we knew what it was, it's like, it is going to be something totally different. And then when it became clear Metroid Prime 4 is going to be Metroid Prime 4, I look at this, I'm like, thank God they were about to nail Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah,
you know?
Metroid Prime, right? I played for the first time with the remaster that came out a couple years ago. And I look at that and I look at this and I'm like, these look like the exact same game in the best way, right?
Yeah.
Like, obviously Metroid Prime 4 has its own things that it's doing, psychic abilities. We'll talk about that shit, right? But yeah, I look at that and I'm like, that looks like the thing I just played, and that's all I want.
Are you still surprised with no date?
Yes, I'm incredibly surprised. Like, that's the thing. That's why it's like, I'm not like, I don't love this direct by any means. Like, I don't even think that this, I'd say that this was good. I don't think that it was bad, and I think it's a little better than fine. I do struggle a little bit because, like, I feel like I'm always looking for the answers and to the questions we're asking. It's time for a Prime release date, and maybe we get that in a couple days. But seeing it here before then, I feel a little weird about. It just kind of seems like maybe an oversaturation.
I'm surprised because one of the things I predicted was that we would get maybe a little taste of Metroid Prime 4 here, and then they would say, look forward to the Switch 2 Direct for even more about Metroid Prime 4. Because if Metroid Prime 4 is coming out on the Switch 2 release day, then it makes sense of why you don't say it here. But then if you're going to have it here and not do the baton pass to the Switch 2 Direct, then I just think that's weird.
Yep, and I think, it's very likely that it is a launch title for the Switch, so all that makes sense. But it's just watching this Direct, a little disappointing, I would say, even though game looks great to me. Pokemon ZA, the Royal Tournament, I'm like, that's kind of what I want from a game like that. I think the nighttime stuff looks way better than the daytime stuff. Not like it's a pretty game by any means, but it's like, I think it looks better.
It looks fun.
It looks fun, which is great. And then, I just think that overall there was the Marvel game popping off for that. Dotemu have really been crushing it, and they just continue to, like with Ninja Gaiden. Then there was that game, Absolem that I previewed a couple weeks ago. That is a new IP from them, and it is awesome. Had a great time with that. But yeah, looking at this, I'm like, this is cool. And as such a big Marvel fan, I love that they're like, all right, cool. We could just go with the straight up old school, we're bringing the X-Men back or whatever. I like they're going cosmic. I like that they're like, hey, people understand these characters in a different way nowadays. Let's like get a little bit more weird and have like some of the main characters be like Captain Marvel characters and stuff, and Nova,
yeah.
So that's kind of cool, but also still have Storm, which is badass. But super stoked for this. So I can't be mad at a showcase that introduces a game like this. But on the Nintendo side, like the business Nintendo side, not one but two bizarre ass announcements. Like just the way they presented the digital game stuff is weird. I want more info on that because that has to be a good thing. This has to be a step up from what we had. They just didn't make me believe that from how they showed it, right?
They didn't present it well. Yeah,
they just didn't present it well.
The messaging was really not executed well.
And then the Nintendo Today thing, having Miyamoto come out for that, like that is a WND into like, oh wow, this feels like 2013 Nintendo when things were
when
dire.
I watched that live, at first, my first instinct was same as Andy's of like, oh, it's got to be a park thing, like maybe something we don't know yet. And then I went to what you said at one point of like, oh, Super Mario Brothers 2. And like the complete left turn again, bringing him out for that is so. Why are we ending on this? This is so weird.
But it feels so right.
It feels so right for the final Nintendo Switch 1 Direct. It felt perfect.
See, then that's the funny thing is I thought it was going to be like hey, this is the end of Nintendo Switch 1, Focus Directs or something like that, right? Of hey, this is an ushering into the next generation of Switch. Even if it was just that, I would have been like, oh, that's fun. Like great that they brought Miyamoto in for it. Him coming out for this, I think is weird, but also I do wonder if we are downplaying what they're trying to do with it. Tim, you know better than anybody, like the Smash, like it was the Smash Brawl era where they had like a new Smash announcement every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're trying to recreate that for the Switch 2 and use this as a really big marketing push of, hey, there's news to look forward to every single day after the Switch 2 Direct about the Switch 2.
I mean, they literally said like, hey, we're going to like put out information about Switch 2 after that, which I do think is exciting. The idea of Pikmin 4 comics, there's a lot of potential here. We'll just see how far they take it. And 6 months ago or whatever, they put out the Nintendo Music app, and I think that also has a lot of potential. And so far, I wouldn't say it was a failure, but it also isn't succeeding as much as it can. Like, they keep making weird decisions. They put out Kirby and the Forgotten Land soundtrack a couple days ago, but they only put 23 songs from it, and we're like, hey, the other songs are coming later. And it's like, you're drip feeding half of a soundtrack? Like, what are we talking about here?
I will be setting an alarm to check the app every day.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
They got you.
Do you guys also think that this is probably just future-proofing for Twitter? Because, like, Twitter's already a place where it is.
That's a great point.
That's the Nazi app. Like, that's like the, Elon Musk is doing his best to fucking, fuck that place up. Maybe this is a thing of, oh, man, we've been relying on Twitter for so long for a lot of our social media interaction. Let's have a place that we can own, that we know if every other social media platform goes down, this is still the central place to go for Nintendo news.
Yeah, I just don't see it working. Like, to me, I feel like that's all a great idea and that's awesome. Even just looking at Nintendo's like social media presence, like they're very bizarre, and just like Nintendo, there's no rules. But like the amount of times they've promoted Donkey Kong Country Returns HD in the last like 4 months, they promoted this game more than they promoted any game ever. And it's like kind of weird. It almost feels like a very tone deaf type of thing. And I understand people's jobs to promote the games. It's weird when you like go look at Nintendo of America's Twitter and just scroll back the last couple months and tell me it's not fucking weird. And like, I just feel like it doesn't really give you what you're looking for.
They got
and I love Donkey Kong. I love it. I just think it's weird. So I don't really have faith that, we're going to get interesting content every day. I guess that's what I'm saying. But more than that, spreading it across a bunch of apps is not a good idea. Like, if this was embedded into a Nintendo Switch Online situation where there was one app that got you all these features that connected with your games and it got you these social features, a Miiverse, if you will, like, I think that there's like levels there that could be cool. This just being a Nintendo news app that might have some comics for a bit until they decide it's not worth it anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's awesome and there's exciting news coming out, but the thing that worked so well about Smash is it was a single game with a like single understanding of like what would make the fans excited. If you're and they would drop like a new stage and in the background there'd be like a picture of an item we hadn't seen and people lose their minds. If they do that and it's a screenshot of Donkey Kong Country Returns HD and people are just like you could jump. You know what I mean? It's like and that's what I think it's gonna be.
Man, I think it would be so sick if for Switch. Well, it won't be OLED, so that sucks. But like with OLED, when OLED is first introduced on handheld products or whatever, they have like the night mode where you just like leave your phone docked or whatever, and you only see like info that lights up and not the whole screen is lighting up or whatever.
Yeah.
But if this whole news app was implemented into an OLED device, obviously the Switch one has an OLED variant of it, but it would be so cool to like wake up and on that app you get the first news blast that like there's a direct coming tomorrow, and you're like, oh shit, this came here before Twitter or before any other sort of news outlet. They put it here first.
Yeah.
If you start putting news there first, then people will know to check that first.
I just don't think they will.
But
you're right though.
I think they will because it's way more important than like checking a soundtrack, right? Like that's such a different element, and I think if you condition the audience to know this app is going to be the place where we're putting shit first. Unless they just move everything to 4chan,
Let's go all in. Fuck, let's embrace it.
Sammy boys. Very, very interesting stuff. But let's get into the thing by thing, game by game conversation here. Starting it off with kind of some back-to-back Japan classics here with Dragon Warrior 1-2 HD 2D coming 2025.
Dragon Warrior. Fancy guy over here, huh? Don't want to call it Dragon Quest.
I fuck it up every
Don't want to call it Dragon
time.
Quest.
Growing up
This
reading
guy.
the goddamn magazine.
We get it. You're all cool.
It was no, I'm not. I am so ignorant of this franchise, and I apologize. And people call me out about it all the damn time. But yeah, this is cool. I'm happy it's happening. But this is another example of like no new info here, right? Like we already knew that these games were coming 2025. So cool.
Yeah, it still looks good.
Yeah. Then we had the
Somnium Files.
Yeah, no sleep for Date.
And did you notice a super chat from the person I called out, Jace, who was saying, yes, Bless, that is the same developer from 999.
Oh, okay, I got that right. Holy shit.
Yeah, if you look at the super chat, they called out the name of the director. I didn't see the exact name, but it was the director.
Jace says, PSA, play the Somnium Files. It's a goated series. Yes, Bless. Same guy behind 999. Uchikoshi, don't miss.
Yeah, as far as I understand, these are games that sickos love. So if you're a sicko, like, yeah, check out Somnium Files. Check out 999. These are games, honestly, where if I had all the time in the world, I would for sure check them out. Because the way people talk about it, I'm like, oh, that sounds fascinating. That sounds really cool. So if you want some deep shit.
Then we had Raidou Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army, coming June 19th. This is one of them Atlas games. Barrett, Bless.
Never heard of this, but it looks neat. I like that Atlas continues to kind of look back at their older stuff and bring it to newer audiences. Andy, hey, this is the one for you because it's not turn based. So
this is the one for you. You think?
This is the one for you.
Yeah, this is the one for you to play Andy.
You just hate turn based so much.
Finally in.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Shadow Labyrinth, which is the Pac-Man game. We finally get a date here, July 18th. I'm excited about this, but I gotta be honest, I was a lot more excited seeing at the Game Awards, like seeing a little bit more of like the gameplay just happening here. I'm like, I don't think this is going to be as good as it possibly could have been. And again, I know that I am being very hopeful of wanting this to be cool.
Yeah, I really like the idea. I like how bizarre this has been as a rollout, right? Because it got that episode in Secret Level that was, based on Pac-Man, but then you watch and you're like, oh, this is a weird take on Pac-Man, and we get this announcement. We're like, oh, all right, I guess the episode take is way more about this than it is about the core Pac-Man thing. I think that's lovely. I love that kind of order of operations. I look at this and I feel what you're saying as far as this doesn't look as, I guess, high budget as you'd want it to look, but I'm still very intrigued, and this to me still looks fun. This looks like it's a game that I'll get lost in, right? Like, have they talked about it being? Have they said Metroidvania, or have they talked about deeper about like?
No, but I mean,
structure of it
clearly looks like a Metroidvania with like Mega Man influences to an extent, like the more action side of things.
This one is one that I think could surprise people if they get the gameplay down right.
I'm again, I want this to be cool because I like the idea of a weird Pac-Man Metroidvania. I guess the thing to me is it looks like a PSP game. Like it has just that vibe, like art style wise, and I'm like, I don't know, something about that.
It lies on that thin line of, do I fuck with this 2D art style or not? And unfortunately, it's on the other side of it where I don't really vibe with the way the character moves or animates, and especially when he gets into that big sort of mech thing and you're gobbling up, it's got that it's got that puppet tool flash thing that I just do not love.
It's very 2010 coded in that way, in terms of like indie, art direction.
Then we got
even the way the character's moving right here. You know what it reminds me of? That one Nickelodeon show where it's all like it's like the real kind of human faces mixed in with like weird Ramona. No,
are you talking about in Kablam?
Yes.
No, I think he's talking about the Kablam show.
I don't know that opened up the Digimon movie.
Yes.
Angela Anaconda?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. That's what it reminded me of. The way the mech thing was moving, that's what it reminded me of.
Oh my god, yeah. You're talking about Angela Anaconda. That's the Digimon movie opened up with a big kaiju thing. That's
them going to the movies.
But you are also talking about the Nickelodeon, because I know exactly what you're talking about.
This is that.
Wait, is this the same thing?
Kablam.
No, Angela Anaconda wasn't Kablam.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Hold on.
This is the most important thing.
We got to get to the bottom of this, because I was never able to make.
No, it's that wasn't a part of Kablam.
I'm pretty sure, because then it was part of Kablam, and then the Kablam or Nickelodeon would then just like put out they'd play a bunch of the Kablam like sub series.
It was on Kablam
in between different
yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah, I never connected that.
Anyway, that's what it reminded me.
Take that, chat.
Yeah.
Jesus.
All I'm saying is that it said that show, country of origin was Canada, and this Kablam was United States, and we don't mix.
I don't know if that's true though, because Kablam had a bunch of Canadian things too.
I don't know if that's true though.
Maybe it is like actually like headquartered in America, but like I went down a Kablam rabbit hole a couple years ago. You know what I mean?
Shit.
So I remember some things. Don't remember most.
Kablam fucking kicks ass.
Do you remember Sniz and Fondue? For like Action League now, with the fucking action figures. Oh my
Prometheus
goodness!
and Bob.
Prometheus and Bob was my shit.
Super strong, super naked. We have Patapon 1 and 2 replay coming July 11th. Greg Miller.
Is it real?
I mean, I was questioning it for a while for so many reasons, because this just seems so bizarre. I know we're in a world where Lego Horizon exists and the Xbox, PlayStation boundaries are broken, but Patapon 1 and 2 being announced in a Nintendo Direct is just a bizarro world I didn't know could happen.
I'm still fascinated with the Bandai Namco of it all. And
Sony
what
pulling
does
out
this
a lot of
partnership
stops
look
here.
like?
Pulling out a lot of stops here with Bandai Namco, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, this, and then, of course, everybody's golf, Hot Shots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some weird partnership going on here. Of course, we have the full press release for Patapon 1+2 replay coming to consoles and PC. However, notable for both of these PlayStation owned IPs, right? Everybody's Golf and this, not coming to Xbox. So July 11th, PlayStation 5, Switch, and PC via Steam for Patapon 1+2
Some
petty bitches.
Yeah. Very much so. Very clearly.
Fucking PlayStation fucking player haters.
This is exciting to me, of course, because I love Patapon. Everybody knows that. It's also got a bunch of stuff they're showing here that it wasn't in the PlayStation remastered, right? Like, it looks like some love and care did go into getting this packaged together and giving you some special stuff, whether it be the options you just saw there, difficulty, or going on in there and having all the commands at the bottom. As I remember, if I remember correctly, that used to be in the PSP, or maybe I'm wrong about that, but I remember back in the day having them on the screen.
I like it. It's really cool kind of seeing the I mentioned it a million times during the reaction, but like that is the Nintendo font in the Patapon game. It's very odd.
Ridiculous.
Very weird mix up.
Cool stuff though, Tim.
I mean, you're the Patapon guy. Like, I know you've played the remastered when they came out. Like, is this like getting you back in?
Oh, I never got out, right? I'm going to get a code and I'm going to tinker with them both, right? But I think I'm not like... It's awesome that they're here. It's awesome they're there. You know how much I love Patapon, and I thought both Patapon and Patapon 2 remastered for PlayStation. Remember how weird that was? Remember how I had previewed Patapon remastered at some event, and literally it took years until we ever heard another peep, and then it was released, and we did the whole Mission Accomplished banner and stuff like that. And then Patapon 2 came out, and nobody gave a shit. Like, and I mean, like, just... industry wide, it wasn't like this is a big deal anymore because it wasn't given an event space, right? So the fact that it's getting something like this here, it's cool. Again, as a PSP fan, it reminds me a lot as being a Vita fan of getting Freedom Wars out. I didn't, get lost back in Freedom Wars. I've already got, my trophy. I platinum Patapon 1. I never made it around to Patapon 2, but I already have those games remastered. It's just cool to see them for a new audience.
Yeah, for sure. And again, a Nintendo audience, which I think that this type of game
makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and I think the same thing for a PC, right? I see a Steam Deck's going to be the code I request, and sitting there on a plane and having that, I'll be stoked about to tinker with it.
I just love the idea of like in the meeting rooms at PlayStation higher ups, they're like, all right, let's put Patapon everywhere, right? Let's put it on PC, let's put it on Nintendo, and then somebody raises their hand, they're like, what about Xbox? And they're like, that'll move the needle.
Are you aware of what Phil Spencer's been trying to do? No,
put Forza on PlayStation.
Yeah, exactly. We'll put our games only anywhere but Xbox.
Greg, I already added Everybody's Golf Hot Shots to my Steam Deck wish list.
Sure. You want to move on to that one?
Can't wait.
Let's do it.
Now, you want to say that, of course. I'm not saying trouble in the air.
Uh-oh.
But this is not a clap hands Everybody's Golf.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like that. I ain't vibing with that off the top. Clap hands, of course, are the folks who did Everybody's Golf and Hot Shots Forever.
Are you of the sort of, is this sort of the same vibe of like, this ain't a Kojima Metal Gear Solid?
That's exactly how I explained it to Roger out there when Roger's like, why does that matter? I'm like, hey, I mean, these people did this the entire time, right? Like, they've been, like, the last Hot Shots was so freaking, or Everybody's Golf was so freaking good, right? Like, I look at this, and of course I'm excited to get more Everybody's Golf / Hot Shots Golf, and I'm going to use them interchangeably from here on out.
Well, the fact that this is named both, does that say anything to you?
Yes, that I think they confused a lot of people. Of course, that, hey, Hot Shots Golf on PSP, and PSP, or Hot Shots Golf on PSP, and then Hot Shots Golf Open T2 on PSP, and then, like, all of a sudden, they're in a Yakuza Like a Dragon situation.
Yes, that's exactly
like in
it.
Japan, it's Everybody's Golf, and it has been forever. In America, it was Hot Shots Golf. So now, fuck it, we'll put both in the same title, because I assume there was enough people they think confused by Everybody's Golf that wasn't there. But for me, yeah, it's an interesting one of, ooh, I don't like that Clap Hands isn't the folks on it. Hyde is who's making it. I look through their thing, nothing of note that jumped out at me as something we've seen before. I'm excited to have more. Again, I forget if we've done this. It's the exact same thing. PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, and PC via Steam later this year. No Xbox stuff on there. And so it's cool, but if you don't mind running it again, Barrett, as a fan, like, for me, and especially coming off Everybody's Golf PlayStation 4, right? It was about that customization. It was about that depth. And what I'm getting glimpses of here, I don't look like they're going to have that level of depth to it. And that's just a first, glance. They do talk about new customization options. They're also, I think, very weird in the way they're talking about it, right? Because it's like, at first I was like, oh, are we doing some kind of open tea bundle thing too, right? Because it's like, Everybody's Golf, formerly known as Hot Shots Golf, gets upgrades with improved graphics, new gameplay modes, and new customization options. But it's like, what do you upgrade? It's like you're upgrading the gameplay is how this sentence would read, right? It's one of those long PR ones, so it's like, I guess so, but
is this like a not an HD remake, but is this like a sort of report of Everybody's Golf?
Not the Everybody's Golf we know. It might be an old one or whatever, but like, yeah, the sentence is long, so stick with me, right? Developed by Hyde and published by Bandai Namco Interactive Entertainment America. The beloved golf gameplay from the hit series Everybody's Golf, formerly known as Hot Shots Golf in North America, gets upgrades with improved graphics, new gameplay modes, and new customization options. So the gameplay is getting upgrades to the what? Okay,
I think they're just saying that, like, this is a step forward in the series.
I guess so. It's just a weird thing with this going on.
Because I will say, in watching the trailer, I did get glimpses of, oh, this does look like a step forward a little bit, right? Like the animation of the girl, like jumping, like, getting in place before she's about to like take a swing, right? Like that seemed like a step forward. Those like
that ain't new.
Oh, is that not new?
No.
Okay. Well, that's in the menus too, where you had the characters kind of like,
Street Shadow says this is an update of the Vita game.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Is it? No, it's not. Show it to me again.
Show it to me.
They didn't show me the dumb fucking
Would this be a good thing?
Hold on.
No, I didn't like the Vita game. I didn't like the progression system. If they've changed that, I'd be fine with it. But I did not like the way Hot Shots progressed on the Vita. No, because
last thing Clap Hands worked on was Ultimate Swing Golf for
iOS
in 2024. No, for Meta and everything. 2021 was Easy Come Easy Golf.
What about Clap Hands
They're
Golf?
just trying everything, man.
Who made the VR game?
That was what do you mean? The PSVR one?
Yeah.
The PSVR
Push
one.
Square is saying that this is sorry, the World Invitational remake or whatever.
The PSVR one was Clap Hands. The one for Meta Quest that came out last year was also Clap Hands.
And then they also made Clap Hands Golf, right, for phone, for mobile.
Yeah, Easy Come Easy Golf, 2021.
That can't be real.
I don't think that's what it's called.
It's called Easy Come Easy Golf.
Didn't they
I
just put
downloaded that shit on Android.
I thought they put out one that just called Clap
on my
Hands
Switch.
Golf.
I want to keep talking about other games. We're going to do that after a quick word from our sponsors. This podcast is brought to you in part by Stash. Are you still putting off saving and investing because you'll get to it someday? Stash turns someday into today. Stash isn't just an investing app, it's a registered investment advisor that combines automated investing with dependable financial strategies to help you reach your goals faster. They'll provide you with personalized advice on what to invest in based on your goals, or if you want to just sit back and watch your money go to work, you can opt into their award-winning expert-managed portfolio that picks stocks for you. Stash has helped millions of Americans reach their financial goals and starts at just $3 per month. Don't let your savings sit around. Make it work harder for you. Go to get.stash.com/kindafunny to see how you can receive $25 towards your first stock purchase and to view important disclosures. That's get.stash.com/kindafunny. Paid non-client endorsement. Not representative of all clients and not a guarantee. Investment advisory services offered by Stash Investments LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Investing involves risk and investments may lose value. Offer is subject to T&Cs.
Because like out here, I'm on Touch Arcade,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a review for Clap Hands Golf on Apple Arcade in July 21st, 2021. But also, everything you're saying about Easy Come, Easy Golf is also true. So, like, I'm trying to figure out what happened, what went wrong.
Your laptop is from the other universe.
From the other universe, yeah.
It jumped.
After Patapon, we got Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar coming August 27th. So, you know, shout out to Nintendo. Took them an entire 14 minutes before we got
Not even. It was 9 minutes.
9 minutes in. All right. But cool, I guess. And then Metroid Prime 4 Beyond coming 2025. Andy, talk to me.
I mean, the art style looks fantastic. Metroid Prime 1 Remastered is one that I really, really need to get to, and it's one that I just didn't have enough time for. I guess, was it 2 years ago that it came out?
Sounds right.
Yeah, it was like near the end of the year. I was like, it's just like I have too many things to play right now. But it's still amazing how they can pump out visuals like this on this hardware.
Switch 1.
Yeah, like it's still super impressive. I was kind of, I was hating for the most part on a lot of the earlier looks of, I don't like that suit with the purple glow, but I was also spoiled by the Metroid Dread suit. That's the coolest looking suit of all time. Seeing the new suit here at the end looks fantastic. Kind of with you that I still don't love the purple glow mixed with that, but I think it's much more preferred to what we're seeing here. But Blessing and you mentioning what is Metroid Prime 4 going to be, and it seeming to be a sequel to what you expected it to be, it's like, okay, sick. That's what you wanted. That's what a lot of fans are going to want as well.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's like Metroid Prime, one of the best games of all time, a game I'd recommend, especially the remastered version, to anybody. But here we are now, Andy. Maybe you should just wait and play this one. Like, I feel like that might be the move. Because, like, they're going to be very similar games. But, like, I do think that this one's going to be even more modern feeling and stuff. And, like, I just don't want you to get primed out. You know what I mean? What do you? Oh, you disagree?
I disagree. Play Metroid Prime 1. Metroid Prime 1 is so fucking good. And like that's the thing is I look at this and there are multiple scenarios of either this is somehow as good as Metroid Prime 1, and guess what? You just played double the Metroid Prime.
Yeah,
You're having
who cares?
a fucking good
You're
time.
getting good stuff.
Or maybe it doesn't live up. Like that's a very realistic thing of this game could come out and like just be like, all right, cool.
It could be as good as 2 or 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like maybe not, live up to 1. It's still you played the best one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Good point.
that's the thing is I look at this and I'm like, this looks to me like just more Metroid Prime. And for me, that is the best case scenario because I played Metroid Prime for the first time in 2023 and that shit hit like it was a new modern game. That shit was awesome. That shit was fun. I think one of the things I see when I see this as well is, I look at some of those enemy animations and I'm like, that still looks like it's not that far of a jump ahead of what I just played with Metroid Prime 1 Remastered, but sometimes I'm okay with good games as being good-ass games. I think in terms of presentation and art style and art direction, I think it's doing the job. I think there's some things here as far as like, okay, it still does look like a Switch 1 game, which is kind of tough when I'm also playing PC games and PS5 games and other shit, right? But at the end of the day, I still look at this and I'm like, this looks like a good-ass time. And I'm very excited to see like, all right, what are we talking about with some of these abilities that you're unlocking? They talked about the psychic stuff. They talked about like controlling like some of your not bullets, but I guess plasma shots or whatever. And like I'm already thinking about like what puzzle am I gonna be stuck on, trying to control where the fuck this thing is gonna go and trying to navigate the level. I don't know. Every single thing they've shown off in this trailer is working for me as far as what Metroid Prime is.
Yeah.
Speaking of Prime, we just had Matto subscribe for 5 months.
Oh, thank you,
Good,
Matto.
Andy. That was really good. I'm so hyped about this. I love Metroid. I love the Prime series. And looking at this, I'm like, this just looks like what I want. I love the idea of the Avatar-like planet with the big tree. Like, Prime games need a great setting. And I feel like everything we've seen so far, I'm into this. I think this is Nintendo art style at its best of like, sure, technically it's not the best thing, but like, I love how this game looks compared to some modern games just because it has that style to it.
Has an atmosphere to it.
For sure. And Metroid needs the atmosphere. I, like me and Eddie were saying, like, I'm never a fan of that like glowy purple stuff. Like, it's my least favorite thing of like the Transformers, Fall of Cybertron, War for Cybertron. Great games, but all of them look kind of generic and because they're just glowing. And I don't like that Samus looks that way. But it's first person, so I won't need to care too much for the majority of the time. But this looks awesome, and I think that I am obviously under no belief that this is going to be better than Metroid Prime 1. I don't think that that's possible, but I want it to be. And I do think that there's signs here that it could be better than 2 and 3 that are still great games. Like, I would say probably 10, Prime 1's a 10 to me, and 2 and 3 are like 8.5 to 9, you know? But the thing about this one that I liked what we saw is we've seen bits of this before, obviously, but the way the scanning is used seems a little bit more in depth here. It feels a little bit more
gamified,
organic. Where it's like Prime 1, it was a lot of just like lock onto the thing, scan it, you get the data from reading the thing. This, it was like, okay, cool, we're gonna scan this to hear about the wildlife and like what it means, like how to open it or whatever, and she blasts it. How deep is that going to be? I don't know, but it seems a little bit more advanced than what we've had in the past. And that combined with psychic abilities and stuff that obviously we immediately are like, okay, Nintendo's going to puzzle their asses off here, like retro specifically.
Is there anything they could do to make this better than Metroid Prime 1?
I mean, I think that that's just impossible because of what Prime 1 is and because of the fact that we just got Prime 1 remastered on the same hardware that this is running at, and it's already going to be a generation behind because of it coming out on Switch 1 instead of 2. I think that because of all of that, it's like there's going to be too many comparisons that are able to be made between the two. And Prime 1 was like one of the most revolutionary games ever, you know, taking a franchise and turning it into like one of the most graceful transitions to 3D we've ever had, you know?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I look at, and I'm like, okay, I'm okay with what this is because it doesn't look like it's trying to buck what Metroid Prime is. It just looks like more of it. Even the psychic abilities that we talked about, right? Like, that feels like a very safe way to be like, all right, what's another way we can just give you more of those same kind of upgrades and mechanics that you already know from Metroid and you already know from Metroidvanias. And I'm okay with that. I'm curious to see, like, if we get to Metroid Prime 5, I would like to see like a step beyond, no pun intended. Pun intended. I would like to see a step beyond. I would like to see like what does an evolution of the genre look like, because I do think that what Metroid needs to be is to be the best at what it does, right? It needs to be the game you go to if you're wanting this, like, you know, either first person or 2D, whatever, like depending on which Metroid you're playing. I need a perfect Metroidvania. I need like a refined Metroidvania. I need like a game that gives you the best things about what that genre is. And I think I would hope Metroid Prime 4 can give us enough of that. I know that's lofty, but it is what it is. You're Metroid. So I would at some point, though, like to see it step beyond that and give me something where I'm like, whoa, I didn't know a Metroidvania could do this.
Absolutely. My counterpoint to that would be it's not like we get as many Metroid Primes as we get Metroidvanias.
Yeah.
You know, like Metroid Prime, we have 3 of them, and there's no other game like it. Like, I literally can't think of a game that I'm like, I'd put it in the same genre as that. You can stretch and make some concessions, be like, oh, this one's kind of like that. This is kind of like that. The aura of BioShock or whatever, but it's not a Metroid Prime game, you know? So I feel like getting a 4th game in the series isn't necessarily like, oh man, we're just doing the same thing over and over again, even if we are. And I look at like Metroidvania, the Castlevania DS games and Game Boy Advance games, full trilogies on each system, right? Like sometimes when things work, it just works. And we know Prime works, so I'm hopeful, but yeah, we'll see. And also, when the fuck is it coming? 2025. Yeah. Is it a launch? Is it not a launch?
I mean, that makes me think, I don't know, it makes me think that it's going to be launched.
It makes me think it's going to be a launch.
Because like, why else wouldn't they announce it?
I don't know. They announced games for 2026, bro.
You're right.
Then they announced Disney Villains Cursed Cafe, available later today. More classic Nintendo Direct stuff, Disney partnerships, cafe games. You know, this is definitely a bingo card.
Yeah, I want to have a one-on-one conversation with
fun.
John Drake, because I want to know like, what is the strategy when it comes to like how you approach like certain games for certain IP? Because this makes all the sense in the world to me, and I don't know why. Like, I look at this and I'm like, all right, this is obviously, well, I don't say obviously. I think for the most part, probably not for the people in this office, even though I kind of want to give this a try. This looks like a game that I'll play on
in the late 90s on PC, like on
Yes.
Disney's like website or something.
1,000%, but it's also one that, like, not just a random one though, right?
Yeah.
It's like Teen Titans Battle Blitz, where we still talk
Like,
about
this
it
is
to
the
this
one.
day. Like,
Yeah.
this looks like the one that I would have played on Disney.com. But like, how'd we get here?
How'd we get here?
How'd we get here? I want to know.
And then, yeah, next we had a couple back-to-back, I'd call them bangers. Witchbrook looks like it's made for an audience is the note that I put there. It's like everything about this, it's like, this looks a little higher quality than initial glances might make you think. But yeah, this, you guys were saying, from the publishers of Stardew Valley.
Yep.
So much about this as the trailer went on, I feel like just got like cooler and cooler and more like, oh wait, this could be a major hit.
Especially with the multiplayer component. I just love the art. There's so many pixels on the screen.
Yeah.
Like, this screams
A lot of
like
NPCs
pixel
just walking
quality.
around.
Yeah.
Those might be players, but like just a lot of NPCs on screen.
Yeah, I think there is such an appetite for games like this, especially mixing in the mystical, magical element, right? Like we've seen a lot of games like that, but I think games like Fields of Mystria having this sort of fantasy tie-in really hits with even bigger to a much larger crowd. I think this looks like it's going to be a hit. I would not be surprised if this is a massive hit.
There's such like a Venn diagram between folks who like love like the farming, like cozy Sims, and folks that also love like a cottagecore and witchcraft. Yes.
Yeah.
1,000. I'm going to say
It's not a Venn diagram,
You
it's
gotta-
a circle.
You got to say it. But on top of
Like,
that,
if I call
there's a third element here, though, which is like designing things for Etsy. And they let you do that here,
oh
too.
my god! If I call up my friend, like one of my best friends, Meg, if I call her up right now and told her look up the trailer for Witchbrook, when I tell you, she would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to play this for the rest of my life."
That trailer looked like her as a video game.
1,000%. Yes. And there's a lot of people like Meg.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Anyway, that one definitely looked cool. Then we had The Eternal Life of Goldman. This is a hand-drawn. You get cane upgrades. It's a platformer coming this holiday. Definitely one that I'm like, I'm wishlisting this.
All
Looks great.
hand-drawn, all hand-animated, no puppetry. It's all just, every sprite is going to be hand-drawn frame by frame. It looks so freaking cool. Getting that
Oh my God.
getting that DuckTales.
I was gonna say, what is this invoking? It is a DuckTales, right?
It's like the hand-drawn Shovel Knight to me.
Oh yeah, dude, look at that in the background.
Yeah, that's so cool. My one hesitation is the character model looks a little big in some of the things, and I always worry when your character's too big, it makes platforming like you're not gonna get those like precise challenge platforming. It's gonna be more just about getting from point A to point B.
Well, there he looks
Here he
big.
looks
That's what I'm talking about.
But
yeah.
for the
The
most
zoom out,
part-
that's cool. But yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like
I
a lot of
think it'll
trailers.
depend on how well they use, like how much they scope in and out for certain scenarios, for sure.
I was very confused by this section because when they cut to the Gradius collection, I was like, oh, that probably means that goddamn Goldman. I was gonna say Walter Schmitty. That means that Goldman is probably already out, and it's not. But I was just very confused by the messaging of what this little section was, because they were like, here's a collection of stuff.
Yeah,
And they threw in one of the coolest looking things in just kind of a
Action
throwaway
games, yeah.
section.
They called it like action arcade or whatever. It very much felt like, fuck, we have like these 3 other games and we don't have a good section. Just fucking lump them in together.
Yeah, very odd.
Gradius Origins coming with all the Gradius games, including Salamander 3, a new entry.
That's awesome.
August 7th. This is awesome,
Yeah.
man. Like the music in these games are great. The gameplay is timeless. Very, very, very cool. Excited for that one. Personally.
Did y'all were y'all ever into Gradius like that?
I was, yeah.
I think I played like a lot of different free versions of games like this.
Thunder Force wasn't free, but
I don't know how I had access to them, but it was more or less of like, this is what I had. So that's
Yeah.
why I was playing it, you
Because
know?
I couldn't tell you if I've played Gradius.
I don't think
actually.
I
As I
have.
look at this, I'm like,
R-Type maybe
ooh,
on Super Nintendo. That was like the
maybe.
I'd say the big one.
Maybe Turrican.
Because yeah, what era was Gradius? I assume like
Super.
Super. Okay.
No, not Turrican.
I guess I played the older ones because I definitely played like fucking Space Invaders and Galaga and shit.
And then we got Rift of the Necro Dancer, rhythm-based combat. We're getting Celeste music tracks available later today.
They cooking.
Very cool.
Yeah. This is one where if you're watching the gameplay and you're like, this looks like my type of shit, I would definitely recommend checking it out. I think it's very fun, right? It's a different take on what Necro Dancer could be, but it is, think like Guitar Hero, track. You are fighting monsters that are on the track, and each monster kind of has like a different way to, or like a different effect to it. So like some of them take 2 hits. Some of them you have to like, you can hit them, but then they'll jump to the next rail, and so you have to like know to hit like up and then right, and then shit evolves from there. I love that they're adding Celeste music to it. That's enough to make me want to boot it up again.
Hell yeah, man. Then we got Tamagotchi Plaza coming June 27th.
Tamagotchi.
Gochi. Cool. And then Pokemon ZA, the ZA Royale, the tournament arc at night. More new Mega Pokemon will be announced. Still coming late 2025. I wonder if we'll get the date for this. Probably not.
At the Switch 2 thing next week?
Yeah. God, the Switch 2 thing's about to be interesting.
I'm
We're doing our predictions topic tomorrow, so we don't need to get too deep into everything. But
so excited.
I'm hyped.
You think Greg's gonna go through with it? I don't even like saying that on.
I know.
On the microphone.
Don't invoke
right now.
that. What a monster. And then Rhythm Heaven Groove, the first Rhythm Heaven game in forever. Imran Khan posts on Blue Sky saying, if people didn't know, the series was on ice for so long because the composer Sunuko was diagnosed with cancer in 2014 and had to take one of his vocal cords removed. They made a note of him coming back for this one, actually kind of a big deal. So yeah, that is cool.
That's crazy.
But yeah, get a new Rhythm Heaven, which I'm excited about. I love rhythm games. I love Nintendo games, and I've never played this, so I'm excited to give it a shot. Do not like having to wait till 2026. That is, I'm going to say it, unacceptable. Don't talk about this.
Yeah, I think this is one you could have held for a September Direct. I think it's early to announce it. That said, there's such an audience for it. There's so many people that, played Rhythm Heaven on DS. I forget if there was one on 3DS. I imagine there probably was. Actually, I have no idea. But I see so many people on social media, on TikTok, on other places, like reminiscently playing Rhythm Heaven on TikTok lives and shit, right? Because it's one of those games that people either grew up with during their childhood, and it's also one of those one of a kind kind of things where if you know, if you played Rhythm Heaven, you know how fun it is, you know how cool it is. It's like if WarioWare went away and like you were just left to play the old WarioWare games and play like indie inspired games that have a similar thing going on. And so for me, my entryway was Melatonin, the game that I was talking about earlier, where I played that and I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome. And then I realized that is exactly what Rhythm Heaven is. And I was like, oh, I gotta play Rhythm Heaven. Like that seems like some cool ass shit. And so I'm very much looking forward to this. But yeah, way too early for an announcement.
Yeah, it's I think very, very bizarre, and especially for Nintendo, who recently have been announcing games and then they release within like 3 or 4 months. So just seems bizarre, especially for a game like it. I'm not saying that you can't announce a game in 2026 this early, just not a game like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it would have to be a big IP for it to be like, okay, cool, that makes sense. But that looks like it should be coming out in a couple months.
It seems perfect for the, like what Bless is mentioning, a September type deal, right? Because if you do it on the 2nd, there's way too many bigger announcements coming out that day,
Yeah. George says, listen, Tim, you wouldn't be complaining if it was like a new DK or any first party Nintendo thing. I get 2026 is a minute away, but people have been dying for this. I mean, like I was just saying, it's like, yeah, I do think certain IP get the luxury of calling your shot that long. Rhythm Heaven simply doesn't. Like,
to be fair, I
people
feel
have
like
been waiting for it,
DK, I feel like we all said Donkey Kong Country Returns when they announced it for like the next year.
That was crazy.
That was also a crazy thing where we were like, oh man, that seems like a far away thing.
Yeah, but even then, that wasn't that far. That was September to
like,
January.
No, I think that was summer.
Was it? I mean,
Donkey Kong Returns.
Yeah, even then though, we're still talking about longer time for this. But then yeah, after that, we got the Nintendo Switch digital conversation coming in April.
Virtual game card.
I'm pretty confused about this, honestly. Like and I'm only confused because I don't think it's confusing. They just presented it. They explained something that's so simple that
But
I'm
we
like,
already know how things like we're aware of the way, sharing games works.
They
with
explained to us how
accounts.
cartridges worked to start this thing
Yeah.
off, and I think
that throws us off.
it throws us off, but it's also one of those things where I can hear the marketing room meeting where they're like, all right, we have this new functionality where we want making sharing games with family and friends easier, and like somebody in the room was like, oh, we gotta figure out how to compare this to something.
Yeah.
We got to figure out how to make this super easy for them to understand. Oh, what if we called it a virtual game cartridge and just explained it like it's a virtual game cartridge?
Yeah,
Now it's
chat-
just way more confusing.
Because when you guys were watching it, chat was like, so it's DRM with extra steps, and yeah, if that's like a conversation of DRM that they were having in like boardroom meetings, they're like, how the fuck do we sell that to fucking
It's the
families?
it's the most like, hey, how do we Nintendo-fy this thing and like make it kind of cute?
I know that they said virtual game cartridge, but the way it was being presented still made me feel like there was a physical component to it. Like I was like, oh, so are they selling like still something? Because they kept on showing these fucking little squares going into the
Yeah,
as
honestly,
if-
yeah.
I was like, what are you doing, man?
It's weird to me because again,
Baffling.
I own multiple Switches. One of them being a Switch Lite that I use fairly often for games, and it's pretty inconvenient because you need to have like your primary account and then a secondary account, and you're kind of limited on what you can do. That the secondary account has to like check the internet for like verification that
Authentication,
you're able
yeah.
to play or whatever, which like minor inconvenience. But I've had more than my share of issues of, for some reason, it just taking longer than I want it to, and not working or whatever. So that's been inconvenient. On top of that, not every game has cloud save compatibility. So like things like the Pokemon games and I think even Animal Crossing, that can get very frustrating. So this doesn't seem to solve that at all. And more than that, as a Nintendo fan, the biggest issue I have with the physical digital conversation is I buy my games physical, but then I don't get them digital. So when I buy a physical game, I can't then play it on a different system without physically putting that card in.
Yeah.
And that's something that I was hoping they were going to be like, you
Guess
can-
what?
Yeah.
that's
and-
how it felt like they were setting it up
Yeah.
at first.
So I don't know, that seems like this seems like a letdown to me there. At the end of the day, though, this does seem like they are trying to speak to the families that have multiple Switches that are about to buy a Switch 2, ensure them they can continue to play and share it within the family, all that stuff. This all seems like good stuff. If it works better than the account switching, which is finicky, good. But
Yeah. I think that's the part that for me was confusing, but hearing you explain it makes a lot more sense, right? Where I don't have multiple Switches. And so as they're explaining this, I'm like, is this a problem that exists? Because the way I do it, right, with PlayStation, for example, I have a PlayStation at work and I have a PlayStation at home, right? It works so easy. I'm just logging a PlayStation at work and then I can play. I didn't know for Switch it was
Can
such
you
a hassle to do that shit.
And I think about the casual Switch audience that maybe only owns a couple of Switches, maybe one or two, but their whole life have known, yeah, you could put any Super Nintendo cartridge into another game or whatever that, that's, it's always been just a natural thing to just put a game somewhere else. Why doesn't this work for our Switches? Why is this so tough? I mean, maybe this sort of bridges that gap. I don't know.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this actually plays out. I don't think it's going to affect most of us here. I think me probably the most, just because I do have the multiple systems. But I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out. Maybe we'll get more answers with the Switch
This
too.
graphic is insane, bro.
Like at first I was like, if it's a virtual card, do you have to download it? Is it just what is
Like, are we
happening?
transferring it?
You'll definitely have to download.
No, I know that. But in
download
the
or
moment,
at
it was
least-
just so. I think the biggest thing here, I think this was all of this is just to be able to lend copies of digital copies of things to people in your family group, which I think it's very select use cases. I think it'll be great for parents and stuff.
I mean, I don't think that's select use case. I think that's
Like any
a pretty
family that has
major
multiple
use case,
yeah.
right?
Like
If your
like-
brother wants to play the Mario game.
Yeah, exactly. Or like even when Alyssa saw me playing Balatro on my Switch, she was like, "How do I play that?" And I was like, "I own it, but like, how do I get that? Like, if she doesn't want to buy it, how do I do that?" Stuff like that, I think is great. But yeah,
Yeah, it's very weird to me that it seems like you need to be with the people. Like it seems like a local internet thing?
Yeah, I was
'Cause,
wondering
if
if
you
it
have
was
a
like
family
via
plan with
System
someone
Link or
in Ohio.
I imagine you can do it through internet, right? I
Yeah.
think that did they say that? I feel like they might have
They
said
did,
yeah.
but it like
But they
looked-
showed them real close
Yeah,
to each
exactly.
other.
So
Mm.
You have to be in the same bedroom.
we'll see, man. We'll see. And then after this, we got a little montage of some third-party games coming. High on Life coming in May, Wandering Village, a couple other things. Then we got an HD remaster of Saga Frontier 2 launching later today. Definitely didn't impress me visually. Then
Same, yeah.
Monument Valley 1 to 2 coming April 15th. and
Cool.
Monument Valley 3 summer 2025.
That's neat.
And then, everybody's golf. We already talked about that. Followed up very quickly by Dotemu Marvel Cosmic Invasion coming holiday 2025. I'm going to read some of the press release shit here.
You got some guys reading off of paper.
I know.
I know. It's very weird.
I saw him like rifling through sheets.
Yeah, I don't know. Greg
Why
just
did
dropped.
Greg print
I don't
all
know. And he highlighted it. I appreciate it, but opening with spectacular hand-drawn animation reflecting the game's visual homage to colorful 90s era Marvel comic books, Dotemu revealed the first set of playable characters. So there's going to be more. That's exciting.
That's nice.
Captain America, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Storm, Phyla-Vell, Venom, and Nova. The trailer's sneak peek at gameplay finds these legends uniting to throw down against menacing enemies in classically inspired side-scrolling brawls. Seems like we're going up against the Annihilus wave, which is cool. I, again, like that they're focusing on the cosmic stuff, so that's interesting. But the biggest news comes from Twitter. T-Lopes tweets out saying,
shit.
it's a marvelous honor to announce I've once again teamed up with Dotemu and the Extraordinary Tribute Games to bring you Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Please enjoy the trailer with music by me and the spectacular Johnny Atma on guitars. This is about to be a banger. Shredder's Revenge was a banger. This looks to be no different. I love that it's a brand new thing. I love seeing Wolverine in that outfit. Hell yeah.
I love this.
They just have the best art style. Like, I don't know if anything can really take this on visually. I love the look of it. I love the way the characters look. They have their own personality, even though the characters are still obviously who they are. I just love the way that they sort of make them their own still. This looks awesome.
We got to put them, like, I think higher up in the conversation of like developer.
Dude, I've been saying this for a couple months now after my preview because Absalom was amazing. Like that game, I think is going to like really take people by surprise. And then Ninja Gaiden looks incredible.
Ninja Gaiden Ragebound looks awesome. They're doing Metal Slug Tactics, which looks fucking awesome. And they got Streets of Rage 4 that they put out like 4 years ago that was also
won
fucking
awards.
awesome. Yeah,
like people loved that game. So yeah,
like they remind me of a Blue Point when we talk about studios that specialize in a specific thing that are really really good at that specific thing. Shout out to y'all.
Really quick,
they're publishing Ninja Gaiden.
Thank you.
Really quick, One Armed Wonder super chatted $10 and said, first time super chatting, but a day one KFBF. I'm project lead for Cosmic Invasion at Marvel. Glad to see you're all excited for it. We aim to make this game truly special.
Very
Congrats.
cool.
That's awesome.
Shout out, dude. That's awesome.
Oh, they did Windjammers too.
Yeah, man, dude. They're really, really, really good. And
for
Wonder
them.
Boy and all that stuff. Like, yeah, love them.
Wonder Boy.
Tamagotchi Life was the last game that we saw. Tamagotchi Life, Living the Dream, coming in 2026. What are we talking about?
I love it.
This one is the first new entry in over 10 years. Barrett, can you do me a favor? Can you go to the end of this trailer and I want to watch it again?
You talking about
With
like
sound, please.
Oh,
the giant?
Yeah.
Did this activate something on you? Because this is a thing for people. I'm just saying.
Did you want to talk?
Fucking Hidden Kinks, the video game.
That
Come
was
on.
only a dream.
Just lurking in the back, dude. It's not no dream.
Left eye.
That was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, but as the music was playing before that moment, you were like, this is just so Nintendo.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a combination of the music, the weirdness. They do things, they march to the beat of their own drum. You know?
Yeah. I will never forget, and this is a little different, but also very, very in line with what we're talking about here. I'll never forget, it was E3 2013, I want to say. Super Mario 3D World being talked about. And we go in to do the demo. And it's all the grown men in cat outfits.
I love that.
You know? And it's like, this is that energy.
So when does this game get released?
Oh, 2026.
We're doing that. Okay.
Tim, you know this. I never owned a 3DS. Right, I was unfortunate, couldn't afford it. Like I was the Squidward meme of looking out the window, seeing everybody having fun with their 3DSs. I remember the Nintendo Direct where they announced Tamagotchi Life for 3DS, and when I tell you that I always wanted to play it, never got around to it, obviously, but like this might be my gateway.
Hey, you just need to wait a year.
Yeah, 2026, I'm about to be different.
And then, yeah, they're like, that's the last game. But hey, guess what, motherfuckers? We have one more announcement. We're going to bring Miyamoto out. And hey, Nintendo Today. Wow. We'll see. We talked about this at the top of the show a bit, but I don't have high hopes for this. As always, whenever I'm pessimistic about a Nintendo thing, I hope I'm wrong. But I don't have hopes for this.
Yeah, their first example being Pikmin 4 comics.
You cannot start off with that.
You can't, yeah. You gotta like be like, oh, yeah, new character for the next Smash game, theoretically. Like, you gotta do something exciting.
It gives me vibes of, every week we're going to put out a new Concord little video, a little animation.
Wow.
I forgot about that. What do you think happened to all those
Where
cinematics?
are they? Yeah.
Those have to link at some point.
Yeah, hopefully.
Let's get through the super chats to close this out here. We have Kyle saying, bless, what's your level of regret on Stars in the Bank on a 1 to 10 scale?
11.
Yeah. Mellowfella says, I love Kind of Funny. I love Stars in the Bank. Thank you for this gift, Greg. Bless. And I'm assuming Barrett, truly thank you. God, after everything I've tried to do for y'all, I don't want to say I've given you anything, but I tried so hard.
I went to bed early last night.
Cozy Bear says, hot take. I expect Metroid Prime will still be great, but that trailer felt very banal. I hope they bring the sauce in the Switch 2 Direct. I'm incredibly interested in how they show Metroid Prime next week. How they position it. It being here really makes it feel to me like they are just looking at it as like, hey, it's just another game.
Yeah, I feel
Which is
that.
weird.
I think it's just because it's hard to show off Metroid Prime. Like, I don't mind it being here because I still expect it to be there next week. If it's not there next week, then I think then it'll feel like, okay, well, what are we doing? But I do think, to the super chat, Metroid Prime 4 is, I think, one of those games where it's like, all right, how else are they going to show it though? I definitely feel the feel of, all right, this doesn't feel like a Zelda trailer. This doesn't feel like a Mario Odyssey trailer, right? Like, there's not that pomp and circumstance and, like, personality and all this shit. But what they do show looks exactly like Metroid Prime. And, like, I think it'll have Metroid Prime fans excited. But yeah, I do wonder how it's going to hit for people that are outside of that fan base.
Yeah. Demon Hacker says, if you lend a game, do you lose access until it's returned? I guarantee. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how
I
that
think
works.
that's,
Street Shadow says Sony owns everybody's golf and Patapon. They're licensing the IP to Bandai. It's a strategy to find partnerships to bring back old IP. I love it.
I love that.
Ricardo says Blessing was on the money for Cozy Games.
There it is. Thank you.
Samson L. I don't know that I would describe Tamagotchi as a cozy.
You don't think it's cozy?
Not with that giant
When
woman, man.
It started off and I was like, oh, is this Animal Crossing? And then she tooted. And I was like, nope. This is not Animal Crossing.
Tooted.
They don't do that in that game.
I haven't heard toot in about a fucking year.
But like, that's exactly what she did. She didn't fart. She tooted.
Yeah, she did toot.
That's so fucking funny. Samson L says, welcome back, Wii News Channel. Shit, yeah.
Yeah.
God, that's hilarious. In app form. Pretty Dude says, PS porting Patapon and Hotshot to everything but Xbox is funny. Makes me think they still care about some lines that they don't want to cross. I really do wonder. Like, my gut tells me it's not some petty bullshit. Like, I think that there must be business decisions if they're just like, it's not going to sell enough. It's not even just worth it. But like, that feels wrong. But I don't know.
I mean, I could see that, but I wouldn't describe not putting the games on Xbox as petty, but I do think that probably they have like a red line of, we don't see Switch as a direct competitor as much as we do see Xbox as a direct competitor. And so for an arbitrary reason, we don't want to put these things on Xbox just because that's how PlayStation works. I do think those walls need to come down.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It's silly
Where's
as hell.
Helldivers 2 on Xbox?
Yeah, it's silly as hell because I don't no diehard Xbox user is going to buy a PlayStation and play games like that. But if the opportunity comes up that it's on their store, they have a chance to buy it, and that might happen. Like, you're preventing something that like just definitely doesn't have a chance to happen. I don't know. It's kind of annoying.
Kebab says we're definitely getting another Switch 1 Direct. I don't know.
Well,
I highly doubt it.
Like a Switch 1 phone? I mean, why? it's going to be backwards compatible, right? So like, if you have more Switch 1 games to announce, you just announce them during a Switch 2 Direct.
Come on, in chat saying I think we are. I mean, I don't know. Like, look here's the
Like,
thing.
what game are they going to announce?
I can guarantee we will not get a Direct that only has Switch 1 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Did
I
we
mean, I've
ever-
already heard people. There's already reports of Switch 1 stock like being taken down at stores and shit. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of stock?
Like accessories and stuff like that.
That seems like premature.
Maybe it's just the store
I'm like,
shutting down.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
like,
it's just
well,
retail
wait
shutting
a couple
down.
years before you take down the
Yeah,
Switch
yeah.
1 stuff.
Then we got David Eiler saying, is virtual game card to combat piracy somehow? Nice to share with family members, though. A new Rhythm Heaven, hell yeah. I doubt it. Like, I think that this generation, that like the piracy conversation has shifted so much gen to gen for what it means for Nintendo. And I think with where we're at with Switch right now, they're in a complicated space because it is easier and more accessible for people in the know than ever to play the mystery machine.
Yeah.
What they call it.
Mystery machine.
Yeah, because they're not allowed to talk about it. You know, it's does this device play PlayStation 3 games? Yes. Does it play Nintendo Wii games? Yes. Does it play the mystery machine? Switch?
Oh.
They don't want to get in trouble. I shouldn't even be saying that. I'm exposing secrets.
Wow.
Damn,
I'm
I
a
didn't know
narkin.
that.
Damn, dude. But yeah,
This is one of those situations where you're like, all right, you can't tell anybody this, but
the virtual game card thing, I truly feel like it's just them trying to comfortably get parents to buy a Switch 2 and understand that it's an additive experience to the Switch 1 and you can play with your kids and
Yeah.
like you're not wasting money, that type of thing.
That makes a lot of sense.
Phoenix Warrior says, I believe that Wind Waker and Twilight Princess will show up in the GameCube Virtual Console for Switch 2.
I don't
Nah.
want that. Because I don't want a
GameCube version of
GameCube
Wind
version.
Waker.
No, I want a remaster. Like,
Yeah.
I want it to be.
They already
HD.
exist. They've
Yeah.
done the work.
If
Yes.
I have to do the Triforce Quest GameCube version, like I'm not playing Wind Waker on the Switch.
Straight up. Yeah. So it's the GameCube Virtual Console, I think, is not impossible, but I also don't think likely.
Yeah.
And I don't really know if we're going to get NSO stuff at the Switch 2 event, or at least like not like virtual consoles type things, not old consoles.
I agree.
But
Yeah, I don't think that. I feel like it's going to be pretty focused.
I think if anything, DLC for new games, or that's the way that the Switch 2 enhancements work for Switch
Yeah.
games being
Yeah.
tied to NSO. But I don't think we're going to get GameCube or Donkey Kong 64.
Fuck you, Tim. I could see a world where, what if, and again, weird Nintendo decision, stick with me here. If GameCube is only accessible on Switch 2 through Nintendo Switch Online.
Absolutely.
I could see that, but not like having a whole 5-minute block of showing a bunch of games. It's just like a 30-second, like, GameCube for Switch 2 or whatever.
I mean, that'd be amazing. I don't see it happening this next week, but I would be so stoked.
For only Switch 2 would be.
I'm going to get a Switch 2. Who cares?
Yeah, you're gonna get a Switch 2.
So are you.
I mean, you're right. You're right. Fuck the rest of y'all.
And also it's like whatever.
It's just one of those things where I'm like, you could make it work on Switch 1 though. That's like one of those arbitrary Nintendo things that I totally believe could happen, but I would also be like, you guys are some man.
They're trying to sell things and make money.
Yeah,
they're
but-
putting out GameCube games that they're also remaking, putting out for $60.
Push the button and just put it on the other thing. I don't know.
Push the button.
Push the fucking button.
Chocolate Fox 9 says the best announcement was Greg farted in Tim's car. One Armed Wonder said first time super chat. Oh, you already read that one. Congrats on working on Cosmic Invasion, dude. That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Danger Daddy D says, as someone who got into SMT late in life, I'm excited for the Ride Owl remake as the original is difficult to find. Physical copy's like $80 and it's not on Steam.
God damn.
That's cool. And Demon Hacker says, my cruise experience with Rhythm Heaven is the Terry Crews memes.
Do you know this?
No.
I don't know this either.
I don't know.
I have no idea what that is.
I'll look into it.
Cool. Well, everybody, thank you for hanging out with us as we reacted to the Nintendo Direct and broke it all down. We still have Games Daily. We still have Alien vs. Predator Requiem in review. We still have Nuzlocke, I think. Whatever. It's a great day of content. Hang out. Have fun. Until next time, do some Nintendo shit.